This is the Real Rebuild podcast, where people drop the polished version and get real about the screw ups, the scars, and the breakthroughs that actually shape a life. Raw stories, hard lessons, zero fluff. I'm your host, Tommy Sessions. Let's get into the truth.
Hello, people.
All right. What are we talking about tonight?
I think in my mind, we're talking about New Year's resolutions.
I hate resolutions.
How come?
I think, resolutions to me are just like a wish. And I don't know why I started this thought, or not a thought, whatever, probably like 2 years ago. And I heard it from somebody, but they were talking about resolutions and how people are always like, oh, I resolved to do this. I do this. And it's like, oh, cool. What are you going to do that? Or what are you going to do to get that? And nobody can ever come up with an answer for it. They're just like, well, I don't know. I want to lose 50 pounds. What are you going to do to lose 50 pounds? I'm going to go to the gym. It's like, good luck. You're not losing 50 pounds at the gym. Like, starts in your kitchen. And I don't know. So anyway, so that's where resolves kind of, I don't like the word, I guess. But I do have 2026 goals.
Yeah.
Actually, it's like into 27 goals. But yeah.
What are they?
They're evolving. So I want to buy 13 properties, which now it's turned into 14. I want to buy 13 rental properties in 24 months. And that started in November. So 23 months, I want to have 13 properties.
Additional.
More. Correct.
Dang, dude.
I have one under contract now. I have plans for another 2 to build over in Idaho Falls, right next to the ones we already built, or the one we already built. So that's 3. And then just, I don't know, figure it out.
That's cool.
And then the 14th property is a cabin.
That'd be sick.
We were talking about that.
You or okay.
Well, I do want it to be like an Airbnb. I want it to work for me when it's not being enjoyed by us.
Yeah.
But at the same time, like, I want it to, I don't really care. I do care because, like, I don't know if I can afford it. I think when I get to that point to be able to buy it, I'll be able to afford it. But I'm like, I don't know. My brain is so like real estate investing type that I'm like, should I do it that way?
Yeah.
Or should I have it, even if it's like only rents out for 2 months out of the year? Like, then it's 2 months of income off of that property that helps offset some of the expenses. Like, so cool. Or it just sits and never gets used in a couple months out of the year.
Where do you want it to be?
I don't know. Island Park's the first thing that comes to my mind, but I don't know if that's probably where it'll be.
Would you build one or buy one?
I think I've been looking, unless I could find a killer deal. I've been looking just to see, like, kind of plan and forecast it. And like rinky-dink cabins up there, like 600.
Really?
Yeah. And I'm just like, these things, and it's tiny. They're all like 2,000 square foot. And that's not tiny. You know, it sounds like I'm a freaking like snob, but like for a cabin.
$600,000.
Yeah. And it's like, well, and I know cost to build up there is more. I know everything's more up there. And then you get cabin and you get people with whatever that income is called, discretionary income, where they're like, yeah, we're going to buy this or whatever. And I get that. But when you look at a 2,000 square foot cabin, it's built different than a 1,000 square foot house. Like, I don't know what your house is, probably 2,900 or no, it's bigger than that, 3,500.
It's right at 3,000
Okay.
once it's finished.
Yeah. So out of that 3,000 square feet, you're going to get like anywhere from a 4 to like a 6-bedroom house, most likely. On a cabin that's 2,000 square feet, you're going to get like 2, maybe 3 bedrooms, and then a big entertaining area. And so it's like, well, a 2,000 square foot cabin doesn't even do what I want it to do. Like, I can't even sleep my family in this thing unless they sleep in a loft with each other or whatever.
Yeah.
And then it's not what I want. So yeah. So I think that I saw a thing today on Instagram. It was a barndominium in Wisconsin. And it was like the ultimate Airbnb barndominium. And you went through like it flew a drone through it. Well, I think
Mhm.
um, flew a drone through it, and you go in, and there's a basketball court right at the front where the big garage doors are at, and then there's like a kind of a swim spa, but inside. But it and then it had a slide off of it. Like this is all inside, and it's not like huge. It's not like, oh, this like 50-foot tall building. And then you turn and you go into the barnuminium. There's this big long hallway, and they're playing cornhole in the hallway. And then it goes like it takes you all the way through the house, and you go over a pool table and then out the back door. And there's a baseball diamond out there. And I'm like, I'm not gonna have that. But and then anyways, then so it's like this like ultimate entertainment barn dominium. And so I sent it to Jen. I'm like, here it is. This is the plan.
What'd she say?
She didn't say much.
That'd be cool though.
Yeah, I don't know. I just want to like I know we talked about it with Stu. Like I want it to where our kids like go and they're like, hey, we got a free weekend. Let's go to the cabin, or we've got this, or we like Christmas or whatever it is. Like
Yeah.
go do stuff there.
You have a place to go do it.
Yeah.
That's cool. So your other rentals, is that 14 doors or is that like complete properties?
So 14 is with the cabin, 13 is rentals. I would like to say properties, all like because one that we're in contract with right now is actually going to turn into a fourplex.
Okay.
Right now it's a duplex. We're going to split it because it's got basement units that are being unused. Like the space is being terribly used. So we're going to make that a fourplex. And then like the two that I'm building on the other lot will be technically single family homes, but the one we built right next to it is a non-conforming duplex. So the two that we're building on the other lots are going to be the exact same. So it'll be a fourplex itself.
Okay.
But I don't want it to be like what would that be? That'd be or it'd be 8 already in those two buildings. So I'm like, nah, like that's not enough.
Yeah. You're like,
I mean, it is enough.
but yeah.
But it's like, I want to, but if I do get like, let's say a 50 unit apartment complex comes along, it's probably going to take up every bit of
The remaining
bandwidth and
Yeah.
money and everything that I've got
Mhm.
or would have to be able to buy it. So that would have to take like, I don't know.
Are you learning all this shit on your own now?
Yeah, a lot of it.
That's cool.
I mean, that, like I told you before, like I would love to have a coach,
Mhm.
but I've not been able to find one that is like a coach that I would want to have.
Yeah.
Everything is like, here, come join our online community and you can learn. I'm like, I can do that on YouTube. Like I can call, I know a fair amount of people, but it's like everything that you're teaching me here can be found out everywhere else.
Yeah.
Like I need somebody to hold
What's
my hand.
different? Yeah.
Kind of like you're talking about, like with your other stuff that it's like, you need somebody to help you
Yeah.
with setting it all up, with doing it, with helping you, not just we can get you this amount if you follow this program.
Yeah.
And then it's like, well, okay. But I
Sweet.
can deviate off that program or I can follow it, but there's no like accountability.
Yeah, it's kind of this new group I just signed up for. It's a group, but it's almost like they're managing you, which is awesome. Like they strategize with you and they make sure you're doing the work. They're not doing it for you, but they're keeping you accountable to the point that if you aren't even staying, like you're going to make a plan. And if you deviate from the plan, they have an AI system that watches all your social platforms and it will ding them. And then they reach out, be like, why didn't you post today? Or what's going on?
See, and that's a coach enough right there, right? Like they've done it smart to where they don't have Billy over there in the corner watching your stuff every day, all day
Mhm.
long. Like they've got freaking computers doing it.
Yeah.
So why wouldn't they? But that's accountability that I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Because you know that freaking Jenny is going to call you and be like, what are you doing? Why aren't you posting this? And you're like, I'm sorry, baby.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think that'll be good for me too, because in my mind, a lot of things I do are based off of how I feel, when sometimes something just needs to get done. It's not like I always feel like doing it. So at some point, I think I do need to get that structure as well.
Yeah.
But
I think emotion plays a lot into it.
Mm,
And like our emotions can take a lot of our momentum away too. Like, I don't know. I look at social media and like what you do, and then I like what I've tried to do in the past. And it's just like I always feel like, oh, people aren't gonna like this, so I'm not gonna post that. Or like my emotions are saying, like, well, that's not the best. And so then I don't post it. But if you have somebody telling you like you better post it, I think it's gonna be good.
I had to, like, speaking of resolution stuff, like,
Uh,
I listened to a podcast, like, my 2 favorite podcasters were on the same podcast, which is cool. Chris Williamson
yep.
and then Stephen Bartlett that does Diary of a CEO.
Okay.
They were on Stevens, and they're just talking about resolutions and all this stuff. But Chris talks about not necessarily even calling it resolutions, but goals as well, and says, "Stop making a huge list and pick 2 things." Yeah, he's like, "The thing that people don't realize is in order to do the things you wanna do, you have to stop something else. So you have to put something down to pick something else back up. Whether that's you are giving up your sleep now to wake up earlier to go to the gym, whatever that is. And you're not going to do a million of those. You'd rearrange your entire life. You can't do it all.
Yeah.
So it's like focus on 2 things and base one of those off of what makes 2026 a successful year for you. What is that? And there you go. And then live your life because you're still, I think it really struck for me because I have so many ideas that I want to try and do, but how do you do all those? You don't.
Yeah. I think one like I think so many people get this list of resolutions, list of goals, whatever you want to call them. Like you say, they strike out. They have all these like big intentions that 2026 is going to be the greatest year or whatever, and then it's like they fail one, and then some people will be like, "Well, that's back to my old self, and I'm gonna try in 27."
Yeah. Dang, dude, missed it January 2nd.
Yeah, and then or somebody will be like, "Well, no, that one goal, that's okay though. Like that wasn't a big deal goal. I'll keep working on this one." And then like ultimately the failure catches up to them that they didn't get all of these goals, and then it just kind of like is a domino effect. Like they just one after another fails, and then they're like, I can't do it. It's so hard. So I like that. I like 1 to 2 goals that are big,
Yeah.
and or even one big goal and one like I don't know, like a victory goal.
Yeah.
If you want, if you will, it's like, okay, I'm going to do this thing. And it's like, I know I'm going to have to work at this, but it's not going to take, like, it's not impossible. Right. And so, and it's very achievable. And so if you get it, like, or when you get it, it's going to make you feel really good and give you steam to go after the bigger next goal.
Yeah.
I heard that somewhere. I heard somebody talking about that where they talked about like all of your goals shouldn't be like, I think Jocko Willink talks about it, calling BHAGs, the big, hairy, audacious goals. Like all of your goals should not be that.
Yeah.
Because for one, you're not always going to reach those goals. But then also, like, not all of your goals should be so easily obtainable that you just like walk out the front door and you're like, got that
Done.
goal.
Yeah.
I'm out of the house, baby.
Like that too. I was thinking about that a lot. I actually started making a script to talk about this because even in my speech it talked about taking the little steps that lead you to your big
Yeah.
ones. And bringing it back to social media, I've thought a lot about this too, where if I don't get all these views or all this attention from a video, it feels like a failure. I'm like, man, I put so much time into this. But if I really reel it back in and I think about where I was a year ago, I would have been happy to get a video that performed like that.
Yeah.
And I think about that too. I'm like, okay, these are just my steps. And I'm skipping over this idea because one of my goals I set for myself was to inspire 1 million people. And I don't even know how to tell if you did that. Like,
Go add up your reels and how many people that.
yeah, I have no idea. Like, is that 1 million followers? Is that 1 million views? What is that? I don't know. It just sounded like something cool to like say, boom, like maybe it is 1 million followers, but I'm not going to get a video that ever gets me 1 million followers, right? I might
Right.
get a video that gets me a few thousand. I might get a video that gets me one. But if I do the goals, like I think I've skipped over the ones and the twos and the hundreds in my mind to make this one great video that's never going to get it either. So I've got to put in the steps to even get me to there. And I'm missing the whole point in the first place because it isn't the point to get to 1 million. The point is to inspire 1 million, right? So I've got to do the work to inspire these people, whatever that is. And if I make the video knowing I might not inspire 1 million, but I know I'll inspire one.
The hardest thing I think about this and inspiring 1 million is just like when people talk about, like, some people call it wildfire effect. Some people call it like the negative talk or whatever. And when people talk about, like, when you go to a restaurant and you have a bad experience, how many people, like, you tell how many people about it, how many people do they tell about it? Like, we never know the full effect of what that experience was. And it's the same thing with this, like, the effect that you have on people that are through your nonprofit, through your fundraisers, like, through all of that stuff. Like, you don't know if Alejandro has told 10 million people, or if, what's the chick's name in Australia?
Oh yeah,
I don't know.
Ashley. Is it Ashley?
Ashley
or
Bynes or
yeah,
something like that.
Yep.
Your one story that you did that she shared with Tanner Scoresby, like, you don't know if that affected, and whatever. And people are just like watching and waiting
Mm-hmm.
or seeing it or whatever, like, or the lady in Provo, that donates their Venmo account all the time.
Oh
Or,
yeah.
like,
Yeah.
she may have a bigger reach and impact on, like, your stuff because of who she is, and, like, the immediate touch that she has on other people or whatever, like, in comparison to, like, say, I don't know, Mr. Beast. I don't know, I always dime him out, but, like, what is his ultimate touch? You know what I mean? Like, if he says, actually, I just saw a thing today, like, he's donating some crazy amounts of money to the LDS Church because
I thought the LDS Church was donating to him.
maybe it is. Am I wrong there then?
That's what I think we've seen the same thing, but he came out and said that the LDS Church is one of his biggest sponsors
Okay, so I thought he was sponsoring, but either way.
because he does a bunch of humanitarian
Oh,
stuff.
okay.
And so I think the church, like, they have a lot of money that they have to put towards that.
Yeah.
It's probably easier to go give that to someone that's already doing it
Sure.
than having to figure it out completely themselves.
Okay, so this is where I was getting with this, is like the fact that Mr. Beast even spoke about the church in his, or that he's intertwined in any kind of way, shape, or form, and it's not in a negative way. What does that affect on the church?
Yeah.
Like, he's got how many ever followers, right? Like, so what does that do? Does that take one person that has a negative connotation of the LDS Church and change it? Or does that, I don't know, get them converts? You know what I mean? Like, I have no idea, but like that effect and that positive talk about it will reach more people. Is what
Yeah.
I'm trying to say.
Yeah. Talk about a brilliant play.
Yeah.
By the church. I'm like, that's pretty friggin' smart.
Yeah.
I mean, because his audience is what is his YouTube?
I don't even know. My kids would know this. Actually, my kids don't watch Mr. Beast.
It's millions.
Oh yeah. Well, dude, that kid
Doesn't he have the biggest YouTube following?
one of, I think. I mean, second to mine.
Yes.
Let's see. 457 million subscribers.
That is wild.
Okay, so let's talk about this for a second, though. He has 934 videos that he's ever produced. So let's see. I don't know how you go back. Like, this kind of goes hand in hand with what, and I'm sure it gets skewed because my kids, like, will go back and watch Dude Perfect from day one just because they freaking ran out of videos that are current or something, It's like, gosh. So his most current video, I'll have to look at it again, but actually, I think we started watching it. Yeah, these are skewed, but like his very first video now was 2 minutes long, and it has 32 million views. But
I
let's
mean, I'm
see.
sure it didn't when he first launched
Right.
that thing.
So 12 years ago, he's got one with 911,000, one with 580,000, 420,000. He started doing Minecraft.
Hmm.
Like that's how he started, it looks like, is Minecraft and Pokemon battles. 322,000, 219,000. So it's all like, yes, they're big numbers, but like you say, it's like how many of those really came within 4 years of those videos being posted to now?
I mean, did you see that video that came out this year about him? He said, I'm uploading a video. I'm making a video now and I'm uploading it in 10 years. He scheduled it.
What?
Yes. And it's a video of him saying, man, I hope I have 1 million subscribers by then. If I don't have 1 million, I might as well just end it, you know? And this is just him talking like in his room.
Dang.
And I mean, yeah,
He did
430 million.
he did he does a lot of, so he started with freaking video game commentary, I guess. But yeah, he's got, I mean, there's like 95,000 views on some of these, 88,000. But then, yeah, it starts going like, he starts trying to figure some stuff out, it looks like. Doing some really crappy, what do you call the art on the screen?
Oh, I don't, doodles? I don't know.
No. No, like the, that you see the images that you see that you click on that's like, oh, this is what this video's about or whatever.
No idea.
Dang it. You're no help.
I'm
I
not.
thought you were a social media guy.
I was.
Anyways, yeah, he starts trying to do a bunch of like upping his game and this stuff, and you start seeing it, but he's still 5 years in and 61,000 views on videos, or 3 years in. And then, yeah, his latest video has 102 million views.
That is so crazy.
And that was posted 10 days ago. 3 weeks ago, one has 113 million. So, anyways, my point about that is like going back to where you have to start and where you have to just like do what you do now. You just got to put it out there and just keep on building and keep going. I know we've talked about it with Braden. We talked about it with other people about like, it must be nice. And we always see it as like, Mr. Beast must be nice, dude. But he's been grinding for, what has it been, 13 years.
Yeah.
And now it's like, okay,
Now it's paid off.
yeah, you put 13 years into something that you're doing and figuring it out. And he's kind of like a pioneer.
Mhm.
Like, yeah, he's got it figured out.
Yeah, I think about that's what I think I've been skipping maybe in my mind. I've had this thought, like it was more of like a reflection of what did I expect? You know, like I got some big wins this year, which was sick, you know, for what I was doing and took some big steps and some big risks. And I wouldn't change anything. And so, like, one of my goals for myself was to enjoy it. I don't think I've allowed myself to enjoy it because in my mind, there's still stuff I got to do.
It's because we're the biggest critic of ourselves.
Freak. Yeah, for sure.
Because you're like, I think, yeah, like having conversations with you before about stuff. It's like, well, we only did this amount. And it's like, it was this much more than they would have gotten. And it's maybe in 5 years, you look back and you're like, man, if I'd have done this, but if you'd have done that 5 years ago, maybe it wouldn't have happened because somebody didn't find you or something, you know, you didn't have the skills or whatever it is. Who knows?
Yeah.
Or maybe there's some freaking program that's coming out in a year that's going to trump YouTube and Instagram and everything. And you're going to be a forerunner on that.
Yeah.
Who knows, dude? I don't know.
Because I have the time to figure it out. Yeah. Who knows? I think about that stuff too. Like the stuff that's just unknown that's going to happen. I mean, just like AI, right? AI pops out. And now people are getting rid of assistants and do like, I mean, AI is now structuring a lot of people's lives for them. And it's reliable.
Dude, I have AI send me a reminder every morning at 8 a.m. that pops up onto my phone. And it's kind of, I don't know, it's kind of clunky right now, but it searches the MLS. So what every house that's listed in our area. So I set it to go from like Island Park to Pocatello, and I have it set up at multifamily. So it scrubs every one of those, which I could do it, but it would take me an hour to look over all these properties. So it tells me if there's price changes on stuff, tells me if there's new properties on stuff, and then it tells me it basically runs numbers and tells me what rents should be on them, and then like compares and says like, is this a good deal or not, basically. And then it lists it out of like, okay, today's good deals or today's deals are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I would offer on 1 and 2, and here's the offer that I would make. And it's pretty brutal. It's like this place is $400,000. I would offer 250. Yeah. Okay, so that's not a deal.
You're
Like
like,
I don't think
okay,
we're gonna get that. But anyways, so it's like, yeah, I use it for that.
smart.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you think about the time you could put in. Yeah, you're not wasting as much time. Not that it was a waste of time before, but you're utilizing your time better,
Yep.
which is essentially everyone's goal to build stuff, right? Is all right, I got to not be working in it. I got to be working on it. And so if you're stuck in admin mode doing those types of things, you're not out figuring out the actual deals or whatever that is, the stuff that AI can't do.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's cool. Yeah,
Yeah.
I think all of that crap is, game changer already. And it's square one, it seems.
Oh, yeah. I was gonna go to an AI class yesterday. What is today? Say Tuesday?
Yeah.
Yeah. So yesterday morning I was gonna go to one, but I just didn't have the time. Stu and Ryan Harris posted about it on Facebook or whatever. They said they were
That's
interested in
cool.
going. So I looked at it, and I'm sure I could have gotten something good out of it. And I just ran out of time to get to it, but it was a free class. So I didn't feel bad or too bad, but it was like, I think those are going to become pretty big
Yeah.
for you, and then, or for any business owner in that aspect. But
Mhm.
like, I got to imagine the AI can really increase and enhance your social media stuff. Like, not necessarily like what it is and um, what's the word I'm looking for? Like the root of it or whatever. And then like how you put it together. Well, not how you put it together, but like like how you present it.
Mhm.
Like when you talk to the camera, I think it will, I don't think it can like do that for you necessarily, but I do think like it can optimize big time
Yeah.
and help you be like, yeah, I've actually read stuff where it's like AI will say, like, doesn't matter what time you post it on YouTube a day. Like the algorithm is the algorithm. It doesn't matter if you post at 3 p.m. or if you post at 1 p.m. You just have to get it on there.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like so that's one thing I'm finding out with like chat is it's obviously so skewed to you and what you've already fed it that it just always agrees. Every
Yeah.
change I make and everything I do, you're right, you're spot on,
Yeah.
you know? And then I do it again. Oh, this is even better. This is perfect. I'm like, my hell.
Yeah.
Like, and then it just keeps track of it, puts it out there and like, oh, you could do it like this, you could do it like this. Like, oh, that's cool. It's all my words, which is nice, but it kind of frames it more and like condenses it down and takes out all my bull crap,
Yeah.
you know? But that way I can just speak openly. And then I'm like, I need like a 30 to 45-second video. I'm going to speak this script or whatever, like my ideas and my thoughts, help me structure it. Boom. It's kind of sick. And then I can do that a number of different ways. Memorize a script or just put the points up. And then what I think I want to try and do, honestly, is I'd like to get more like B-roll type videos of like telling a story. So I'm speaking the story, but instead of just looking at me on a mic,
You're doing like overlay or voiceover.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's like things that I'm like, I'll have a shot list. Like, oh, this could go with this part of the script. So it'll be a lot more work, but it sounds more fun.
Dude, there's a guy that I watch on YouTube that's just like, he does epoxy tables. It's called Blacktail Woodworking or Blacktail Studios or something like that. And he's got like, I don't know, a bunch of followers. But that's all he does really. Like he'll talk a little bit on camera, but then everything else is just voiceover. And I think that's like think it's a good way to do stuff because you can also take a shot from 6 months ago. Nobody's gonna know, nobody's gonna care. Like, if you put it together well and it's entertaining to somebody or it's whatever, like, meets that need for somebody, and then you have a voiceover into it, like, I think it's definitely a good way to do it, and I've seen a lot of people do it.
I've just never really tried. It never really occurred to me that I've had similar ideas where I'm like, I plan an entire shoot and like in each part of my day, I say it, like, all right, this part, like when I'm waking up in my bedroom, I say this piece. When I'm headed to the gym, I say this piece. That is way more work, like,
Yeah.
but I mean, I think could be cool, but I think the B-roll stuff is a good entry into that too, where it's like, hey, I don't even have to say anything. I just have to like get clips of my day and literally put that onto whatever. And then I have clips of everything of me not talking that I can use over and over and over again. That's even what this little community is talking about that I joined, or I don't know. I don't even know what you call it. Joined, hired, paid for, whatever it is to help me with my ideas, but also help me keep me in line. And then also strategize everything with me, which is sick. But they do their niche is gym stuff. And I think that's why it probably popped up in my feed. I'm like, oh, this is sick. Because he does everything from teaching you how to use your camera and like what shots look good and how to edit and how to color grade and how to like everything. So it's more than just like, hey, we're going to help you with this, but then they also help you get brand deals. So I'm like, okay, that's something I definitely, it was like everything I needed all into one thing, which was sick. We'll see if it really pans out like that. Who knows? But I mean, that's what was pitched to me. So I paid for that for 3 months. We'll see how it goes.
Sweet. I wear like a size 9.5.
Yeah.
So I need some
Hook it up.
shoes.
Yeah. But that's, I mean, what was cool is like, hey, we're not only going to teach you how to monetize, but we're going to tell you when you're getting screwed over. We're going to help you negotiate these. We've done this for other people and we're going to do it for you too. The coolest thing they told me is like, dude, you've already got a following. He's like, you could monetize tomorrow. You just have to get structured right and then figure out exactly what your pitch is for these people. Like, that'd be sick because I mean, that's my other goal, right? I would assume my 2 goals is enjoy my life, like let myself enjoy it rather than just like these moments, like enjoy all of them. Because after my speech was like, when we went to sushi, I was like, oh man, this is good. This is a good day. Like I felt like I could kind of like breathe.
Yeah.
Like everything I'd worked for just happened. I'm like sick, but then it was like right back into it.
Yeah.
And I'm like, man, I didn't get to like sit in that long enough. But at the same time, I just didn't let myself, I don't think.
Yeah. That's something that actually I have a hard time with. But at the same time, when I sold my concrete business, I was like, I'm not doing anything till the end of the year. I mean, I've done stuff.
Yeah.
Doing real estate stuff. But like, I've had things pop up where it's like, yeah, I could go do this job. I could go make $1,000 here. I could go whatever, and I just like have to freaking pull on the reins. I'm like, whoa, dude, stop. Don't do that.
Yeah.
Because of the same kind of thing is like, I want to kind of enjoy, like I have a minute to enjoy and like do what I want in a way. Like I get in the hot tub at 3:00 today.
Yeah.
Like it was great.
That is sweet.
I read a book in the hot tub at 3 p.m. It was awesome. But yeah, I don't know. So I think I was going to ask you on that, like with that goal, because that's a pretty broad goal. So like, how do you know that you've achieved that goal? Or is that even a quote unquote goal?
I don't know.
Because if you think about a goal, like to have a good goal, you have an end, right? Like I achieved this, I got this. And then you have steps to get there. Like, yeah. So to have that as a goal, like what does that look like?
I mean, I've thought a little bit about that. And I think it's allowing myself to be okay to leave my basement. You know what I'm saying? Like,
My safe space.
yeah. I'm like, in my mind, I don't know what it is. I don't know what I'm fighting. I don't know if I don't do this today, I won't do it tomorrow. I think maybe I'm afraid of that. There's got to be some fear there that's just playing into it that I'm not aware of. I don't want to get comfortable and enjoy it. Maybe like I don't want to get so comfy that I don't want to go back. Maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, I think it's interesting. I don't know. I like something that comes to my mind when we talk about this is when you first quit your job at Synergy, and you went into this and like one of the number one things was like you didn't want to be owned
Yeah.
and you didn't want to have anybody own you and you didn't want to have anybody tell you what to do, when to do it, and how to do it. And it's like you have to kind of walk that fine line
Yeah.
because like you're almost at the point now where you're owned, but you're owned by yourself in a way, but like to a cause,
Yeah.
which is like it's hard because like it's a good cause and it's what you want to do and it's what brings you joy. But you also have to be cognizant that could also be like just extreme burnout. That's why I asked you today, like, what are you gonna do for burnout? Because when the joy leaves, then it's like, shit.
Yeah. And I mean, I've experienced that already where joy's left. You know, because with everything, good or bad, there's always problems you run into.
Yeah.
There's always things that you're just going to experience that you just had no idea were going to happen. And that sucks the joy out of it sometimes. Like getting Owen's yard in. That was horrible. I mean, I wouldn't change anything. I loved being able to get his yard in. But that process was never something I thought I'd have to experience. And I left that being like, whoa, that sucked. You know, like it was a lot of like I worked more on getting his yard in than anything else. And there were so many chiefs in that.
That was a wild one.
Dude, it was. I was like, dang. And that's why the next one I told everybody, like, I'll give you the leads, but I'm not doing anything with them. Because then I just turn into a project manager, you know? I'm like, no, my job
For
is,
free.
yeah, exactly. Like, my job is to find the people, not even find the people. My job is to get your story out there and help you share your story and bring support to you, right? But not control the support, I think. You know, because I spent so much time figuring out this, figuring out that, who's doing what, you know, how's this, and then like meetings of like, how's the yard gonna look? Why am I in that? You know, like,
Hope it's gonna look green.
yeah,
That's what it's
yeah.
gonna look.
And I'm like, I think this thing was something I had to learn, and I'm glad I did that way. But yeah, I think just so that took a little bit of the joy out of that one. You know, man. One that was crazy, and maybe I should or shouldn't say this, but I'm going to anyways. 4 people listen to this.
Yeah.
After every fundraiser, I've wanted to stop doing them.
Really.
Yep. Wild.
It is. I'll let you. I have an idea of why, but go ahead.
No, I mean, ask away. Why do you think?
This sounds super cynical, but the reaction of the people.
I'm going to say that probably plays a piece to it for sure.
Because I have a feeling, and I don't know this because I haven't been a part of any of the giveaways, like personally there when you've done them for the people besides Jake at RiseX.
Yeah.
But like as far as any of the families, anything like that, whatever, like I haven't been a part of it. So, but I can see the way people act, or I don't know. Maybe I can't see the way they act, but maybe I can see the way that I think they would act. And it comes down to expectations maybe, or it comes down to feelings or previous, who knows? I don't know what it is, right?
Mhm.
But like if I feel like if I were to have a problem and somebody came to me and was like, here's $5,000, I would be the most grateful person in the world. And I wouldn't care that it was 5,000. I wouldn't care that it was 5, and I wouldn't care that it wasn't 1 million. Like I'd be so grateful for what people would do for me. But I don't feel like everybody's that way. And I feel like people out there are like, you only raised $7,000 for me. And 7,000 is like a number that just popped in. Like, I don't know what each family gets, right? Instead of being so grateful for what they've gotten, that it's trumped by not enough or why not more. And again, I don't know, maybe I'm wrong, but like I have a feeling that that's part of it.
I think that plays a part of it for sure. I think a lot of it for me is as I've experienced like bring communities together to raise money, which is fun. It's never actually about the money for like
for you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it sucks because money is like this only measurable thing, right? How do you measure you inspired someone? You don't, right? Like that's an internal thing that somebody has to tell you, right? I don't get a view or I don't get a donation. Like there's probably lots of people that were inspired that didn't comment, like, share, or donate. So it's more about this inspiring piece for me.
Dude, this brings up such a good point. I've thought about this. Can't remember. I think I actually commented this on somebody's Facebook post or Instagram post the other day about like, I think it was Jake. And I was like, dude, I want, like, you are the man that I want to have people say that I was at my funeral,
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
right?
Yep.
That's really the only time that people share their true, or well, maybe it's not true, like their feelings about the person and about like the joy or what they brought to them, right?
Yeah.
Instead of like, we don't know what the joy is that you brought to any of the families necessarily, right?
Yep.
Until maybe someday down the road, somebody says something, but people are too afraid to say something anymore. Like we've talked about it with the, which I can't think tonight, but we've talked about it where people give compliments or don't give compliments. And then like they don't give compliments. So you don't know like what people are thinking, what they want or what they're doing. And if they're good, bad, or indifferent, so if people would just like come together as a community and give more and more compliments, I think it'd make a big difference
I think so too.
in everybody's life, not just yours.
I agree. And that's one of my ideas I've written down is like a kindness project where it has nothing to do about money. And it's cool because I get a better response from individuals sharing their story than actually raising them money and giving it to them.
What do you mean?
Like when people, because I've surprised people with me sharing their story before,
Okay.
and they reach out and they're like so honored and happy. Not honored, but like that's the only word that comes right. But happy and grateful and like emotional that I took the time of putting a video together, shooting it all, and sharing that with the world, which is cool, you know?
Yeah.
And when it comes to doing the money piece, it's almost awkward, you know? One, because I don't think people know what to do. Two, maybe it is like, wow, that's it. Or,
Yeah.
or maybe it's like, how do you respond when someone gives you money? I mean, when you gifted me Stu's thing, right? Like, it's one of those things like, like, I feel good. I'm pumped. Like, I'm excited. And I think it's easier for me to show that, but it's not, who knows if that's how Tommy or Stu saw that happening,
Sure.
And maybe that's how these families are too, or these individuals are like, okay, if I was to give someone $1 million, how would I want them to act? Are they playing that out? I don't freaking know. Like, are they doing what they think they should be doing? Like
Mhm.
not making it a big deal? Because it's funny, every time I've given a check to a family, they've never looked at it. It's always like awkward. But it's funny because when people donate to me checks, I never look at them in front of them. And so it's like this weird, dude, I don't know what the psychology is of all of this.
So I wonder if you should start looking at checks when people write them to you.
I should, maybe.
And make a big reaction or a
Holy
really small
crap.
one.
That's it.
That's it. You just don't
$5 million. That's
I know you're worth at least 7.
so. Yeah, I think even some of my own goals that I originally had, that I even told Stu in this podcast, were I want to raise $7 million for families, and that comes from, that's not just random. Like 7 is just one of those numbers for me. But it's also like when people start making over the fives, like they're like, oh, they've made it, kind of thing. Like over 5 million. And then in my mind, this is funny. Like, I don't know why, but like, I'm pretty sure, like one of the last companies I worked for, I think they had made like 3 to 5 million.
You were on camera.
And I'm like, I'm going to get 7. I don't,
gotcha.
yeah, I don't know why. Like, it's stupid and it's petty. And it's funny because I actually don't even feel that. Like, it's a cool number.
Yeah.
But I don't feel that. And I remember saying this, like, I even wrote down this mantra of like, I'm going to do this. I'm going to make this much money for families and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, I think I'm missing the point again.
It's so hard when you monetize things. I think I don't know. Like money sucks. Money's great,
Yeah.
but money sucks because it brings so many emotions and so many different emotions for different people. And I know I've been told this before, and I'm like, I don't know, maybe. But, like, I tell people, like, money doesn't matter to me. But then people are like, "Well, it's because you have money." I'm like, "Yeah, but not I don't have, like, FU money."
Yeah.
Like, I still have to work for my money, and I still have to do the things that, like, will make me money. But I think, like, even when I was young, and I'm still young, but, like, when I was in my 20s and Jen and I were first married, like, money still wasn't, like, everything to me. I wasn't like, "Oh, I gotta go. I gotta get this. I gotta get money. I gotta get money. I gotta get money." Like, there was a lot of other things, like, money came way down on the list after other things. And so when I say this, like, I don't mean to sound like that money is, like, easy or whatever, but, like, I just think that money like, too many people put a big number or a big not number, but, like, an emotion on money and what it means to them or what it does to them or whatever, and I just wish that people would realize, like, it's not all about the money. Like, who cares, you know? It's more about like, especially coming off Christmas, like, it's more about what you can give rather than what you can get. If you can give and you can give and give and give and give and give, like, you're gonna be so freaking blessed, it's gonna be ridiculous. And that's, like I mean, I try to live my life like that, like, at some point, like, yeah, there's probably a time where you just can't give anymore, but maybe that gets built back up and you're blessed
Yeah.
enough to give more, you know what I mean? But at the same time, like, there's ways to give in other ways too, and that kinda goes back also, it's like, doesn't have to be big stuff, like, could be a compliment, going back to your thing where people, like, give joy,
Yeah.
you know? I don't know.
That's why I wanna do this little project is the money's fun, but it's because it's a literal thing, you know? You get to see it. It's measurable. How do you measure someone's joy?
Yeah.
How do you see someone's joy, right? You don't. You might think that this person's super happy and blah, blah, their day was made, but still, like, I mean, that could just be fake at the same time, you know?
Yeah, for sure.
Like, I wanna do something that feels more right than money, but I don't even know how to measure it because it can't be in my mind, but
Yeah.
it's like, yeah.
It's a tough one, but I think
It doesn't mean I wanna stop. It's hard because now I'm, like, deviating from what I thought I was gonna do again.
yeah, but I think that every business, everything that has started and will ever start has pivots at some point in it,
Mhm.
because you don't know what you don't know when you get into it,
Yeah.
and you never will.
Yeah, that's for sure, and I think I'm not pivoting completely, but I think I'm only gonna do emergencies, except for Lyle's fundraiser, like my father-in-law's.
Every Christmas.
Every Christmas, I'll probably do something like what I did this Christmas, where I'll recognize families that don't need an emergency, but just need some love, you know? This last fundraiser was the first fundraiser out of every single one that I've done that I was like, I just felt good the whole time.
How do you get out of money? How do you get away from money? Like, I know that we talked about this with a family that you helped out, and then, like, you kinda looked at it as like, "What the hell did you use that for?"
Yeah,
Right?
yeah.
So and I know we talked about, like, covering medical expenses or whatever, but what if you did trips and did stuff? And then with that, you brought people in with, like, I don't know, maybe freaking Delta Airlines or somebody is like, "Yeah, we'll donate 2 tickets. We'll donate 5 tickets." And then Sandals donates 5 all-inclusive stays at one of their resorts. I don't know, just something. I think and you give it to somebody that's like that you're gonna help anyways, but it's like, "Yeah, and we didn't do money for you. Basically bought you an experience for you and your family to go enjoy."
Yeah.
I don't know.
I would love that. I mean, that's why I was even trying to get some of these dreams to happen because it wasn't about money. You know, it was more like an experience. Like, you know, Owen got their yard.
Dude, that chick with JoJo Siwa, she was hype.
Yeah, dude, she was so pumped. And that was so cool. She has by far been the happiest person that
Mhm.
I've ever shared, which is cool.
Yeah.
And I mean, bro, like she died and went to heaven.
She did?
No, I mean, like, no,
Oh.
I mean,
I was like, I didn't hear about that.
no, like she was just so pumped and like she hit me up and she's like, hey, I give out stickers every time I go to the Mayo Clinic. I want to give out stickers in honor of Tanner this time. And that's her kindness stuff that she
Right.
does. So she got wheeled around in a wheelchair and videoed herself giving stickers for Tanner to people. I was like, that's cool. Yeah, she was pumped. But that's the kind of stuff I think I'd like to step more into, because it's not like, how much can we get? How much did we not get? It's, all right, we're making some dreams come true, which is sweet, or giving them an experience. And maybe that's a way I can take care of my family, because that's my other goal, right? Enjoy my life, but I got to take care of my family this year. Like, if that doesn't happen this year, it's over for me.
Yeah.
You know, like, I don't just get 2 years and then, hey, I'll give you a third. You know, like, I mean, realistically, even Jordan told me, she's like, you have until May, and then you better start figuring something out. I get it, dude. I'm like, I don't think that's rude.
No.
I think that's realistic. I think that's, I mean, I worked on helping people for a year. In May, I would have been a year since I quit my job to where I was helping people full time. And if I can't figure that out, I guess it's on me.
But I think it's good too to have that deadline,
Yeah.
because then you're not like, thanks, Joe. Thanks for being a sugar mom. I'm going to spend 5 years
Yeah.
and maybe we'll get something. Maybe we won't.
One of some cool stuff about this, though, we talked about this, is it's not going to stop. Like, even if I had to go get another job, like, I'd actually think I'd be okay with it. Not that I want that to be the case. I think I would just be okay.
Yeah.
But the cool thing is, with Jordan's job, she's been making more money, which is wild. And she's doing the exact same thing. Nothing's changed. But what she does is not an hourly job. She does the same amount of work that she's always done, but she's been able to close more deals, essentially, is how, I won't even try to explain it on here. But, and she's been making more money, which is sick, because we've been able to, like, still live. You know, it's not like, I mean, yeah, I spend way less money than I've ever have in my entire life. One, because I don't want to ask my wife for money. It's embarrassing as hell, dude. When I went, a couple weeks ago, she's like, hey, you fill up the car. I'm like, yeah, can I use your card? Oh, that's defeating, dude. Like, I mean, yeah, I have a credit card and I just have to crap my pants. I'm like, okay, how the frick am I going to do this? And I have a little bit of savings, which is nice. Like, but that's from saving up from my e-bike stuff. And then when I was doing the stuff for Braden, I just started pulling it away.
Yeah.
I didn't know, like, I just stopped spending money like I used to. But I think that's a lot of the stuff too, is like, I've experienced now, is I realized that I was putting a lot of my happiness and success into things, which I think we're all guilty of.
Oh, for sure.
And it's funny, I don't even know why I'm going to share this story either, but I've wanted like a muscle car, you know, something with that is so obnoxiously loud.
Yeah.
And that's why I always wanted a Hellcat, you know? And then in my mind, I'm like, okay, well, Hellcat's not realistic. I can't justify that. I'm not even in a place I could justify that. But I'm like, in my mind, I could maybe justify a new truck, you know, like in my brain.
Yeah.
Not that the truck is more money, which is stupid. I'm like, that's why I wanted the TRX. You know, I'm like, oh, it's a Hellcat motor, but it's a truck, you know? And when I had the 2 successful fundraisers, I'm like, okay, if I keep doing that, for sure, I've got a job now. You know, I'll have a job. I have it figured out. And I'll be able to get my cool truck. And then my next one was, I raised $4,000. And in my mind, I'm like, how the hell am I ever going to get anything? You know, like, I'm still working the same amount, but and I'm like, that is, and so in my mind, I had to give it up again. And I remember that feeling of like disappointment. But I was like, was I doing this all for a wrong reason too? You know, like, I don't know, but I remember feeling that and like having to tell myself, like, you got to give it up again, dude. Like, I've wanted this stuff for so long. I've been writing down Hellcats and TR. I have it from years ago in a journal of like, when I'm like, I want this. I want the thinking like, hey, I manifest this into existence. When the time's right, if I get one, then that's when it'll happen. But I think I needed to experience that feeling too of having to stop putting my emotions into things. If that makes sense.
Yeah, I get it.
Like, that controlled me. It was like an expectation, right? And that's even why I shared that. Like, I listened to some Tony Robbins stuff, and he says, like, the only time you feel disappointed is when you're like, you haven't met your expectation, like, or so like disappointment comes from unmet expectations. And the same thing in a relationship, right? Like, oh, I expected to have dinner on the table, or I expected to get lucky, and it didn't happen. But you didn't even communicate that. Like, still on you. Anyways,
Right.
that's a whole but it's this unmet expectation. So in my mind, I'm like, I couldn't even meet my own expectation. How the hell, So I had this disappointment again. But I think I had to experience that because, again, I think it's not about the money. Like, I think I think I just have more things to learn, dude. I don't know.
I don't have a PhD. I can't advise you on No, I do think that we put a huge value on happiness equals or toys or monetary stuff equals happiness. And I don't know.
Maybe I thought I was on my come up again
Sure.
because, I mean, I gave in 2020 when I broke my neck. I mean, I didn't lose it all, but I mean, essentially, I couldn't afford it all.
Right.
And I would have lost it all anyways because I couldn't pay it.
Yeah.
So, like, yeah, like I had to get rid of everything. And I literally, I mean, I have one toy now, and it's an electric bike.
Yeah. I think like I'm trying to think of examples in my head right now of people that I know, but like some of the most happy people have been people that I've met have been people that just have like so little.
Mm.
Explain.
He just freaking lives in a house on the golf course.
Like the golf course pays for him to live in a house?
Mm-hmm.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yep. So he doesn't have a house payment. Doesn't make a lot of money.
Yeah.
But that dude's living, man.
He's the freaking guy from Caddyshack, dude.
Yeah. Like, he's happy, man.
So there's a guy, this guy comes to mind. There's a guy in Mexico. We've been going down there for 10 years now, 11 years, maybe. Anyways, and he's a fisherman. And when you talk about fishermen in Mexico, it's not like they don't have these badass boats. Like there are those in Cabo, and like there's millions of dollars in Cabo, billions of dollars. But where we go is not that.
Mm.
And it's like this dude has what's called a panga, and it is like old. He's had the same boat since we've been going. And I'm sure he's had the same boat for 20 plus years. And it's like there's no like cushion seats in it. There's no nothing. Like the top is, I'm sure, has been fixed 25 times. And it's like, this thing's a piece of crap, but it's seaworthy. The motor on it's good, but he goes out every day. We usually get to the beach at 9 a.m, roughly every morning when we're there. And he is always in the water before that. So probably sometime between first light and 9 o'clock, he's in every day. And he'll come in anywhere from like 2 o'clock to 4 o'clock every day. And that guy always has a freaking smile on his face that you could not wipe off. Like it could be a bad fishing day. It could be the best fishing day. But like his smile is as big as it was on the best fishing day. He drives, his pickup is like, and maybe he's got a nice car at home. I don't know. I doubt it. But like he wears a dirty button-up shirt and it's all fished up and everything. And it's like, he's definitely not the fishing guy that you see at the docks in Cabo that is like all spruced up. But he drives like a 1970 Chevy pickup 4-wheel drive that is all like rusted, derusted. Like you look at this thing, you're like, that's not starting today. But dude, that guy's so freaking happy. Like I bet you he makes jack crap a year.
Yeah.
But he has enough and he provides, and it's like, this is what I need, dude.
That is so funny you say this because that Chris Williamson podcast I'm talking to you about, have you heard what do they call it? It's the story of the Mexican fisherman. And it talks about that. It's where this American guy sees this Mexican fisherman. He's catching a fish and he brings it in. And every morning he goes out and then he catches a fish and brings it back in and he hangs out with his family and they eat the fish together and he does it every day. And he's happy, right? Well, this American, and I'm probably going to botch the story, but this American guy sees this guy and like, hey, you catch a lot of fish. Like, you should start a business. Like, you could do this, like start. And he's like, well, why would I do that? I was like, oh, so you can make more money. And then one day he could start like, as essentially stocking warehouses and shipping it across the world and blah, blah. Essentially he's talking about the American dream of scaling and building something and blah, blah, blah. And then the Mexican fisherman just asked why? Until the very end, the guy gets to, Well, so every morning you can go out and spend your time catching a fish and taking it back to your family.
Exactly
It's like,
what
I'm
you're
already
doing.
doing that,
Yeah.
And he just skipped all the other bull crap. And I wonder how often in my life I'm like that.
Oh, I'm like that. Like that right there makes me think about my 13 house goal, and it's like, why?
Mm,
And it's only because of more. Because right now, I probably make enough money to live pretty close to the lifestyle that I lived with concrete business with the houses that I have.
he's so
And
cool.
so it's like, what the hell do I need 13 more for?
Yeah,
But it's because I've set a goal of having $20,000 a month of passive income
that'd be
coming in.
sick. Yeah.
Yeah, but it's like, for what though? I don't
I
know.
don't know either.
You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
I don't know. Full circle goes like from my goals, and it's like, but do I really? I don't know.
I'm in the same boat. When I heard that analogy, I'm like, "Oh my gosh, what am I doing?"
But I remember you when you quit your job, you said like, dude, I love the fact that I get to get up in the morning, I get to do what I want, I get to take. Well, at that time we were working out early.
Yeah.
You're like, then I get to come home and I get to get Nico up and take him to school, and then like live my day, whatever. And like that was like what brought you happiness.
And it still is.
I know, but then you get into this thing and you're like, I need more.
Yeah.
I need to build more. It's like, damn it.
Yeah, I don't know what it is, and it is funny because it goes back to even, like, if I'm gonna pick something up, I have to put something else down. If I'm gonna build something bigger and keep doing this, I'm gonna have to put other things down. What do I wanna put down right now? Like, I don't wanna give my time back to other things, you know? I don't wanna have to go get a job where someone's telling me what to do, and so it's this hard thing, but, like, I think my idea of what I want is fine, but I also need to be okay with only having what I need.
Yeah. It goes, I think back to the, when I was asking ChatGPT and we talked to Stu about this, about my goals. And it asked me like what I wanted or where I saw myself in like 7 to 10 years or whatever. And it like got on me about why would you be okay driving that same pickup? Because I think that like, I don't think that having big goals is a bad thing. I think it's a great thing.
Mhm.
Like we need to be pushed and we need to like open up, because I think like idle hands is of the devil or whatever. And I'm not saying that like always, but like I don't know what I would do if I didn't have anything to do.
Yeah.
Like snort coke off my table. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'd have to find coke
You
first. I don't know where to get it,
you have
but
to make more money to afford
yeah.
Coke. Yep.
But like, I don't know. It's so I think having things to strive for is a really good thing. But I also don't think that having like a monetary goal of, I don't know, that like my $20,000 a month goal to me is like, when I think about it, and it isn't shameful, but when I think about it, it's almost like, man, like why? Like it's almost shameful in my eyes. But I don't think it should be, because I think that's like a trophy, or I don't know, whatever, like whatever you want to call it, of your hard work.
You see it pay off,
Yeah. So I don't know.
and you're gonna do something. I mean, I get it because I get exactly what you're saying. Because I know part of you are just gonna not have a job and not do anything,
Yeah.
right? You're still gonna wanna do something. That's just in your nature. It's who you are. And you wanna be able to see progress and growth, and that's how you measure, right? It comes back to how do you measure that?
Mhm.
It is hard because, yeah, I mean, the true measure is who you become through the process of learning all of it, and if you enjoy it, right? And so that's where I've been like, I've been really stuck in this reflecting piece, and it talked about that in the Chris Williamson podcast too. He's like, he doesn't really necessarily like the New Year's resolutions either. He's like, but it is a great time to reflect because everything slows down for a little bit. Work slows down, people slow down, all of it, and you get more time to stop and think about what you did last year, what you can do this year, those kinds of things. Like, and he also says, like, if your life was a movie, what would the person watching that movie be screaming at you? you know, like,
Oh.
yeah, but like, it's so obvious.
Seriously.
It's so obvious. And it probably is, you know, but like, you're so stuck in this urgency. And he says that too, where we're so stuck being urgent that we're missing all the important pieces. And I'm like, man, I am, because the exact things I'm working for in hopes to achieve is my time, right? Which I have. Like, I have it. And like being able to be with my kids, and if you call me to go to lunch, I can go.
Yeah.
You know, if we want to go to Arizona for a week, I have nobody to ask. I can go, you know? Yeah, there is a little important piece where I got to figure out how to pay for all that, but
Joe, help me.
yeah.
All right, I got a question for you because I've thought about this, and I know I already talked about it on this podcast today, but I'm kind of curious if there's other people too listening, if they ever like send a comment on YouTube or wherever they listen to this, because I am curious on this and what they think, or come up and tell me if you listen to it. But how do you get, like, speaking of goals, to be the man or to be the person that you want to be? And again, going back to funerals, when you die and people speak at your funeral, whoever it is, kids, family members, friends, whatever, and you want them to talk about you in a certain way, how do you get to that point?
What are they saying about you?
I don't
I don't know. This guy was a piece of crap.
It could be.
I don't know.
But I think those people that are going to say that are probably not going to be at your funeral.
No, yeah, probably not. I don't know. I mean, I think even what I said about Jake, right? Those are just like values that you could tell like he lived by. And that bio came from his mother-in-law,
Yeah.
which was cool.
I think this is what I've thought about it before, but I think this got me thinking about it because, like, your message with him and his kids, his wife, like that whole thing kind of got me thinking about that.
To be honest, I think we already live it, but we just don't get to see it because you're in this day to day where one, like we don't openly share our feelings as people and as humans because there's not even like, how do you go about that? One, nobody does it. Rarely, you know? So there's never really even this opportunity to share that. And maybe that's why it means so much to these people when I share their stories. It's like, oh my gosh, someone saw me, which is part of my mission to help people feel seen and to know that, you know, they're not alone in what they're going through. Because I experienced that in mine, like when I broke my neck, and I got a lot of support right at the beginning of people reaching out and are you okay? But the darkest days were still to come.
Oh, yeah.
And I didn't have anything then, but I'm not sharing it either, you know,
Sure.
when I'm trying to tell my wife to leave me. Have I told you this?
I think so. Like that sounds vaguely familiar.
Yeah, I was just messed up in the head. I was just, I wasn't, I wasn't a different person, but I was just off.
Yeah.
I was off. And like my life was just different. Everything had changed. I had just worked for all this stuff and I lost all of it, you know, and yeah, so like my darkest days were then when I'm like telling my wife to leave me because I don't know what's wrong with me. That's crazy, dude.
Yeah.
I think about that now. I'm like, oh my gosh, thank goodness she didn't listen to me.
Way to be the smart one.
Yeah,
in the
dude.
relationship, Joe.
I mean, I needed it. I think it's obviously made me who I am. In that moment, I didn't think that. But she had to come down and give me a letter. And she didn't even tell me, right? She just wrote it in a letter and we sat on the floor, crisscross applesauce in our bedroom, and she bawled while I read it. And I don't even remember what the letter said. I to this day, I have no idea. All I know is like, I remember thinking like, I am never doing this with my wife again, whatever this is. And that's when I started this journey of figuring out me.
Yeah.
That's when I went to a therapist, and then I went to a hormone doctor, and then I went to like all these other things to try to just get me right. That's still something I work on daily. Like it's definitely like this being okay with who you are. I think there's a lot of people that just aren't okay with who they are. Sorry, I don't even know how the heck we got here, but
I don't know. Feels right.
it does. But I think that's a lot of my message too is that I'd like to share and get out is I remember a year ago, I even asked a poll before I started the known. I was like, are you okay with where you're at? And over 100 people said no. I'm like, why? And a lot of people, a lot of people just said like, well, if I'm okay, then I'm settling. Why are you settling? You're not like,
I think I might have said that.
and maybe, like, but I'm the same. I have to ask myself that same question, right? Like I had to realize I couldn't get the TRX and that's okay. It didn't mean I settled. I still want it, and I'll still try. But if I don't get it, it shouldn't affect my life and me not be okay right now.
Yeah.
Because I am okay. I have a lot of the things I want. And so anyways, yeah, that was like the start of like this whole journey for me going through this dark moment of being seen. That's where this came from, is helping people feel seen and knowing they're not alone. And maybe that like gives them a little bit of a spark to like take the necessary steps to be okay. I don't know.
I think people have a hard time with being okay in their lives.
I think for sure. I honestly think that's an American thing. I don't know if that's an all over the world thing.
I don't know. I can't speak well enough with the Mexicans to know if they're okay. They seem okay. They make really good food.
Yeah. I don't know. You think about third world countries and it's like, we've almost created all of our own problems. All of our basic needs are met and they're going to be. And if they aren't, guess what? The government gives it to you for free. At least that's what I see on the internet.
Yeah. That's what I hear.
Yeah. So it's like, and if you really want to make sure just go to jail. Like,
Yep.
Yeah, there you go. You got your food, shelter.
3 hots and a cot.
Yeah,
You're on it.
there you go. Like in my mind, right? We just created our own problems of not being okay with ourselves and not allowing ourselves to be okay.
Yeah.
Because more. It's like, I get it. I think it's okay to want more, but I don't think it's okay to base your expectations on more. Don't expect more. Work for more. You're probably going to get it, but don't expect it, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah. Expectations suck.
Yeah. And I think in my mind, like the last fundraiser I just did, I didn't have an expectation. It was the first time where I didn't even set a goal. I mean, I had goals in my mind, like this would be sweet. But like the other times I'm like, I'm going to pay off this guy's house. That didn't happen. And the next one I'm like, I'm going to do this. And like, none of that happened. And it was the expectation of me thinking I could achieve that and was supposed to achieve that, I think. I still think those things are achievable. I'm not in that place and it didn't happen for a reason, but I'm not in control of that.
Yeah.
Right?
Mm.
I can only control me and what I'm doing. And I think the heart of what I'm doing isn't money. Kindness and helping people feel like they just had their funeral, but they got to see it, like they got to see a community come together of people like looking out for them. That's sweet. I don't know.
I think it'd be so cool that if people actually use social media, and maybe I should start doing this. I'm going to do this.
Do it. Whatever it is.
Mark my words, everybody.
Mark my words tonight.
Yep. I'm going to start sending out messages just randomly to like people on social media or text, whatever, and just be like, hey, dude, or hey, girl, whatever. Be like, I've seen you do this. Like, let's just say Casey at the gym. Like, just send her one and be like, hey, like, you're crushing it, dude. Like, the last 2 years, your progress at the gym has been freaking unreal and you're killing it. Just wanted you to know that. And you just send it.
Yeah, why don't we do that?
Exactly. Like, why would
it's true?
Yeah.
It's totally true. It's not like you're fluffing her up either. It's like, no.
Beat your ass.
Yeah. But she has. She has come a long ways. But I mean, like we see that. I don't know. Why? It's funny because I've actually had a similar thought with my kindness project.
Yeah.
Where yours is way more personal and maybe I should even consider more of that. But I do try to do that. Anyways, my idea was I'm going to write out a note in the morning. One, because it takes time to write. And I feel like it's this time. Time is the most precious thing we have.
Yeah.
Because we don't have it, right? It's just like we're in it and then it's going to be
borrowing
gone.
it.
Yeah. I took the time to write somebody a note. And I have no idea who the note was going to. But in it, I want to say these nice things that whether it's, like every human, I feel like, again, going back to like, it's okay to not be okay, but it is okay to like be okay. And it's okay to be where you're at and be on this journey. And I see you, I feel you, and not everything's right. We all have problems. Like those kinds of things, like just very generic, but like still personal because I feel like they could attach to every single person and give people those notes. And I don't even have to record the reaction. But I mean, I don't know how that happens. I don't know how that plays out. But I would just write a note in the morning and go give it to someone that I have a stranger, a total stranger. It'd be cool.
I like it. I think that if people did that, stuff would be a lot different.
I think so too.
It'd take a lot more than 1 or 2 people.
Hmm.
Got to start with somebody, right?
Yeah.
6, here I come.
Yeah. Well, it's one of those things too. That even talking what you're talking about, reaching out to people. Someone messaged Jordan on Facebook, real stranger, and she's like, "Hey, I don't know why I'm even doing this, but I wanted to reach out and like tell you, good job for letting your husband do this, right? Like he is changing lives, whether you see it or not. Like he's inspiring people, this kind of thing. But he's like, I can tell that you are the one picking up the extra stuff, right? So he can do this." And it's probably hard because he's meeting a million people and there's all these people talking to him and everybody wants to say hi to him and all this stuff. And like, you're kind of in the background. She's like, I just want you to know that I see you and I appreciate you. And she brought that up multiple times, I'm like, and it's true. All of it was true that she wrote. She's like, I think it changed her day, thinking like, hey, somebody gets me.
Oh, yeah, for sure. And it more than just changed your day. Like, I'm sure it changed months. Maybe it changed this whole project of yours that she's like, that's my role. I get it. I'm also doing something. Like, I have to be an integral part of this to be able to do this. But somebody pointed that out to her. And so now she's like, I got it. I got this.
I think you're right. Because I think it changed her mind it has been hard for her.
Yeah.
Like there's a point where she came to me. She won't listen to this, so she was in tears. And she's like, I feel like you're outgrowing me. And I was like,
I think that's a woman thing.
maybe,
I think
dude.
Jennifer said that to me too.
Really?
Or like, don't like outgrow me. I'm like, well, we're kind of doing this together.
Yeah. That's what I told her. I'm like, you are right here with me. Like, without you, there is no me.
Yeah.
Like, there is no this. And I get it. Like, some dirtbag could probably, I found something better, see ya. And maybe I don't even know. I don't know if that's what she means by outgrowing me. But in my mind, that's how it was. Like, you're outgrowing me. You're going to start getting in these circles with more important people.
Sure.
Important with the quotations.
Yeah.
Like people with more pull and thinking I'm just going to leave her behind, which is total bullcrap because it's not like I'm in any different circles now.
Yeah.
I've met some cool people, but I still am just me hanging out, bringing my guns to show my friends. I don't know. But it was a good talk. And I think someone reaching out to her and seeing her for that part rather than me telling her that, because I would have told her, yeah, without you, this doesn't happen. And I still invite you to everything and I want you a part of everything. But I also know that you're not comfortable doing all the stuff I do. And that's fine. You don't have to want to do any of this.
She made her debut in her video, dude. She's hooked.
She did. And she was good.
Yeah.
Like when she was talking, I'm like, you're better at this than I am. What am I? I'm going to follow you around.
Yeah.
I have the cameras. You be the star. Probably work better. You look better than me.
Probably.
Like it would work better. That was fun. But yeah, I think just that idea of reaching out to people is a similar project that I want to do. I don't even know what this project entails for me. Whether it's I want to do that once a week or
It's funny because it's hard. And it's stupid that it's hard.
Mm.
Like, so if anybody's listening to this at all, I challenge you to go actually do this and go and like record. You don't have to record, whatever. Just send them a note, a text, message on Instagram or Messenger or I don't know, whatever the hell other platforms are out there. There's a lot. And try it. Like, it is hard. I don't know. Again, I don't know why. Like, I send you reels every now and again. It's like everybody gets them, or sees them, and it's like, I don't know who or needs to hear this, but like you're doing an awesome job or whatever, right? Just to freaking forward you those,
yeah,
is hard.
I
I
know.
don't know why. It's so stupid, but it's
Well,
like,
you sent me one, what, a couple weeks ago? Well, it makes you feel good. You're like, hell yeah.
yeah, but yeah, it's like, I don't know.
Maybe you tagged me. I can't remember.
And that's
You sent
another
me one.
thing. I definitely like, let's see which what it was.
Why is it hard? Is it an emotional thing? Do you think it's like,
I I don't know why. It's like, I don't know if it's an embarrassment.
what taught us to like cover up those parts until we're dead? Because you'd say that at someone's funeral, just like you said. All the good things you see about people come out when they're gone.
See, I'm trying to find the last one that I sent to you, but I did like that though.
Adam's cool, dude. You should do that group with me. I'm still part of that too.
Gotta make it through all the other memes that you sent me.
I think you'd really like that group.
Or maybe I didn't send as many as I thought I did.
I think you tagged it to me in a story, dude.
I hear, yeah.
Just take 2 seconds and send this to a friend. Hey, I just want to remind you real quick how proud I am of you. You've been carrying a lot lately. And even though you don't always talk about it, I know you've been doing your absolute best to hold it all together. You've had moments where you wanted to give up, but you didn't. You kept showing up. You kept pushing through the doubt and through the silence. And that deserves to be acknowledged because you've grown in ways you probably didn't even see yet. You're becoming stronger, wiser, and more at peace with who you are. Even if life feels heavy right now, it's not always going to feel like this. You're not behind. You're not forgotten. You're right where you're meant to be. So take a deep breath and remind yourself how far you've come. You're doing better than you think. And I just want you to know, I'm truly proud of you. Hey, before you scroll,
That's cool.
That like sums up the whole podcast.
It does. Yeah, you're right where you need to be. It's okay to be where you're at. It's okay to be okay. If you don't feel okay, that's okay. Yeah,
But sending those things to people is hard. I don't know why. It's just a freaking simple share.
I know.
It's so stupid.
I think part of my mission too is changing social media what I'm a part of at least, to more like that.
I think social media is broken. I don't think there's any changing it, but um because I think about what I see now and it's all about the algorithm. I see a lot of that stuff.
Hmm.
And I see more like you sent me the dude, what did you say his name? Yeah, Adam?
Adam.
Yeah, like I see more of his stuff now. I don't know, I see like a bunch of that type of stuff. Whereas before I probably saw like waterfowl hunting, dirt biking, snowmobiling only, and that was it. And then like men's groups, like I see more Jason's Kalipa stuff now with men's group stuff and other things like that than I ever have. And it's because like I've watched stuff like that. I've searched stuff. I've like looked at those types of things rather than chicks and bikinis and dirt bikes and everything.
Darn.
Like I know I need to get back.
I think that's one thing I feel like I fight even in myself, right? Is this algorithm. And I got to stop putting so much weight into it because that's not the important part, right? It should go back to, will this inspire one person today? Absolutely.
Yeah.
Like, absolutely it will. And that's how I want my content to be focused for like 2026, I think. I guess that's another small goal. That's a small, achievable goal for me, is to keep doing these things, knowing it has the ability to change one person's day. Doesn't have to change their life.
Yeah.
But I should consider changing someone's day a win. Maybe not the whole day. Maybe it's just a moment, changing their moment.
I think that people, well, and I like that. I like that you want to change little things in people, but I think when you change little things in people, triggers big things.
It's a ripple.
Yeah. And especially as they go on. Like I've been listening to a lot of stuff like about mindset and about like not psychology, but like the way people kind of think in a way. But it's like by making these little micro changes, ultimately can make big changes.
Yeah.
And so like, and it's so hard because you think about like, oh, I gotta change. I have to change this. Like I have to change social media. And then it's like, how the hell do you do that? It's so big, right? But then
Yeah.
you think about like the change makers in the world. And I don't know why this even comes to my mind because I don't even know jack crap about it. But it's like Rosa Parks didn't go onto a bus and say, I'm going to change the world today.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it wasn't like this one action of me sitting where or whatever happened, like, is like, I'm going to do this for every black person in the history of the world to come is gonna be changed just because of this one thing.
Yeah.
Like, she probably had no idea. Or maybe she did. Maybe she
I
was
doubt it. Yeah, I doubt
a
she.
savant. I don't know.
No, again, it probably, I mean, even going back to that, like Martin Luther King, right?
Yeah.
At some point, he had to just take one first step,
He had
whatever
a
that was.
he had a dream.
Yeah. Well, he had some dreams. That's the first dreamer I know of. But it is cool. Like I think what we want is found in the little things is more of what feel like I'm realizing the past week it is the little things, right? And what am I truly wanting? It's to make a difference, right? Like how I spoke in my speech. It's just to make a difference. And that when I die, to know that I did that. And I think we all inevitably make a difference, you know, with our kids and how we're raising our kids comparative to how we were raised or how, like all these things, we have impact on people we have no idea that we have impact on.
Yeah.
But you don't know because no one tells you, like, I don't know. And I think even in my messages too, I've been messaging people or like commenting or saying stuff like, I don't know why it is so hard, but at the same time, like I try to be more open about like, hey, thank you for sharing this. Thank you for even taking the time out of your day to do this because this matters, And yeah, even going back to my speech again, I mean, in the reality of things, like my speech was cool. I felt good. I felt like it was a decent message, especially for my first one ever. I'm like, hey, I didn't like screw anything up. Sweet, But Ryan called me a couple days later and he said, hey, thanked me again, everything. I'm super grateful. And he said that he had 4 people call him after that and tell him how much that impacted them. And like some of them were emotional, saying that changed their outlook of right now. Like, that's cool. And specifically, he told me once a story of a guy. He's like, dude, I've been going through it. I've been in a hard place with my mom. She has a lot of health issues, blah, blah, blah. And like, I feel like it's all been stacked on me. But that was the best Rise X event I think I've ever been to. And I was like, oh, that's cool, dude. Like, I don't know.
Well, start booking you up some keynote speeches.
I'll change 4 people's lives at a time.
My goal is to do keynote, but now Devin's on it.
Dude,
So
what
book
the
him up.
heck? I was not even in my idea of things. One, I think because I like the more personal stuff. I feel like because it's way more connective than a speech. Because I'm just up there speaking. I'm like, man, I hope that landed. And I don't know. And then Jordan told me like, oh man, like she's like, I saw a bunch of people crying. Like, dang, I didn't see that. I didn't see one person tear up. But I mean, I'm also not looking for it.
Right.
I'm like, okay, I got to make sure I'm on track. I got to make sure like, yeah. So it's just things, I don't know. It was fun. I enjoyed it. It was nerve wracking.
I bet.
I didn't know that was in me. For real. Might write a book.
Hey, I can help you.
Yes, help me out. Dude, when I started writing my speech, I just started writing out my story, right? Every good speech is usually tied to a life story. So I just started writing out my story from 2020 when I broke my neck, And what I thought was a speech, I end up writing like 16 pages. Dude, I'm like all by hand. And I took pictures of it and sent it to chat. And it was like, how do I narrow this down into a 20-minute speech? And it was like, pretty much good luck. Like, cause there's so much there.
Yeah.
And I could expand even more, but it's like, if you kept doing this, you have a book. That's cool.
I think there's a making for a book in your journey.
I mean, who knows? Who knows, dude? Not me.
You never know. There's books out there, trust me, that would be far worse than what you're going to write. And I'm sure I've read part of them.
The Kama Sutra?
I didn't make them through all. No, that's a great one.
Best one.
Yeah. I don't know. Books are funny.
They are. I mean, I read that book, the Charity Water book that Stu told me to read. And I breezed through that thing, dude. It was good. And it was fun because it was so relatable, of what he experienced and how he experienced it and how he built his stuff and how he could live his life. And that's a lot of how I've got my own ideas of I would love to just raise money for causes and not have any attachment to it.
Yeah.
Because he doesn't. He started an entire different fund that takes care of him and his family and his employees. Like his entire business side is taken care of by other people who get it. And then that way the people that want to make their $5 difference, it has more impact because they know that went to like purifying someone's water.
Yeah.
Which is cool. I'm like, okay, it's totally possible. So in my mind too, yeah, I'm like reading that book and picturing myself writing my own book when I started. So I was reading that book and I started writing the speech at the same time. Maybe that's why it turned out the way it did. But it was super cool. Maybe there is.
Make it easier to read than the Bible.
Will.
Dude, the Bible's so hard to read.
Yeah, how far are you in that thing?
Not super far, but I mean, maybe I am further than I think. But I read it on an app, so I'm in Exodus 21. So just the second book, but it is tough.
I tried reading. I can actually understand the Bible, I think, just because of, being raised religiously and knowing what to expect. Try reading Jordan Peterson's book about the Bible. Oh my gosh.
Why is that?
Dude, he has run-on sentences that are complete paragraphs. And I'm like,
my kind of guy.
Oh my gosh. But it's like so intellectual the way he explains things that I have to be on a different level of understanding to try to formulate the idea that he's putting on the paper.
I have a very hard time. There's certain books that like will catch my thought, I guess, or whatever, and it'll lock me in and I'll like lock into it and I can read for a long time. And then there's books that don't catch that and I can only read like 1 or 2 pages of them at a time, and then I'm like off onto something else and I'm thinking about something else completely.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, Genesis was the hardest book of the Bible to ever read. I had to skip a lot of it and like just breeze through it because it's like this person's name of this person and like all the lineage, and I'm like, oh my god,
no one cares.
I don't remember any names. It's fine.
I don't think you're supposed to.
Anyways, and so it's tough, but yeah, books are. I think stories. I think that's actually why I liked Green Lights so much.
Yeah,
because of the stories,
dude. It's fun.
So if like Matthew McConaughey is a freaking storyteller, dude.
He is.
And if you can tell a story like he can tell a story, you got it made.
Yeah.
You can write a book. You could be an actor. Do whatever you want.
I like his stuff. I mean, his one book, I guess. I don't know.
He's got 2. I read a second one. I wasn't a big fan of it.
Come out
to it
after Green Lights?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's Poems and Prayers.
Poems. Doesn't he say poems?
I'm not sure.
Or is it? I read a book recently by Brene Brown. She's like a thought leader, helps people with business, but she calls them poems. I listened to the book. It was good.
Yeah, I listened to it, and I don't know. He talked a lot about the same stuff that he did in Green Lights, and then, dude, I know you recommended this one, but A Man's Search for Meaning.
Did you try it?
Yeah.
Did it depress you?
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah, I had to stop reading it when I first started reading it.
But I've listened to it, and then I stopped, and I started again. But I'm not, I don't know. I'm not sure if I dig that one too much.
I think I do like history stuff. Like I like to read stuff that actually happened. And that one's obviously a crazy story. So, but when I first started, that's the first book I ever read on my book journey, was A Man's Search for Meaning. But I started reading it right after I read it because of the therapist. After I broke my neck and my therapist talked to me, and I started talking to him about, everything, right? God, religion, life, marriage, all of it. And he's like, you really need to read this book. I was like, oh, dang. And so I started listening to it at the gym, and I had to turn it off because I wasn't in the right. It was depressing, bro. Like the beginning, right? You lose everything. You lost your whole family, dude.
Right.
Like I almost died 4 seconds ago, and I'm like imagining this guy, like in my mind, it was relatable, right? Like I almost lost my whole family. This dude actually lived that shit. I don't know how. I don't even like to think about it. It makes me sick to my stomach thinking about it. But I had to stop listening to it. And then I didn't actually come back around to that book until I started like running at the site. When I started like thinking like, is the site for me? And I talked about this in my speech, and I want to say this. I said this in my book that
That's
I'm
right.
writing. And I finished that book. And the ending is so good. It is so good. It talks about exactly what we're talking about today, essentially. Like it's good. It'll change your perspective on, and I should probably listen to it again. I've listened to it twice. But it essentially talks about like how this dude found freedom as a prisoner. I mean, he's a psychiatrist, so he just understands the brain. But he could explain that well. It's a really, really good book. And then the second book I read was Green Lights. And when I say read, like I listened to it. And Green Lights you gotta listen to. It's good.
Oh, have to.
Yep.
Dude, I listened to Green Lights twice in like a matter of 3 days.
That's awesome.
Like it was just like in my head, just going.
Yeah.
And I listened to it and I was like, dang, that was good. I need to go back.
Yeah.
And I listened to it again. And I don't even know why, but this goes, and why I'm even on this point of books is like that book tells stories. Like Matthew McConaughey has got the ultimate weave going. Like he tells stories about how he started and it winds into something else down the road. And then it's like, dang, dude, you got it.
There's the weave.
Yep.
And then it's all green light.
Yep.
And I'm like, shit, dude, that's so cool.
Yeah.
Like, and I love that he called it green lights. It was just so smart. And it's talking about essentially the butterfly effect, of the little things that built up to the things that made him who he is. And it's awesome,
Yeah.
like, but everybody has the story. Everybody has their green lights.
Dude, I've actually, and talking about stories and then like keynote speeches and stuff, I know people, actually Fatu came up to me at Rise X and was telling me, he's like, dude, you've got a story. Like you've got a story that everybody like wants to hear. And I'm like, no, I don't have that interesting of a life, dude. Like I'm just like a white dude from Idaho that's like just lived. He's like, yeah, but you've done this and you've done this. And I'm just like, is that really that interesting? But apparently it is, because Fatu was saying like, yeah, dude,
Get it out.
yeah.
They recently had a meeting with someone that used to be, I don't know if it was a CEO, but of Big Brothers Big Sisters, which is a nonprofit, and talked about how they could scale Rebbe's rule. Did he talk to you about this? Brittany texted me about it. So I'm wondering if it plays into what he was talking about. But the CEO lady essentially said that everybody's got a story, and it's the stories that matter. And so that's kind of like what Brittany was talking to me about, something about sharing their story, because they have one too. Everybody does. And so I don't know, just this essential piece of, if you want a personal brand and be able to inspire and change and do whatever you want to do, it's pretty crucial. It's getting your story out, like sharing your story and being open to sharing it, I guess. So, because I think everybody's got one. I mean, I don't even know your whole story.
I don't either.
You know way more about me than I know about you. I'm almost 100% sure.
I like to keep it that
So I
way.
don't shut the hell up. But yeah, I mean, there's got to be things. I don't know. I like the autobiography stuff.
Yeah.
I think that's fun. And especially if you can share a message within it.
Yes, absolutely. I think that's where, like, if to me, a really good book on spiritual or personal or motivational or whatever has the story, the personal aspect of it all intertwined in together, and then the over like arcing effect or message is that business or personal or whatever that you're looking for.
Yeah.
Or that it's, the genre it's in.
That's probably the same thing with keynote speaking, right? I mean, it's the same thing I tried to do with my own speech, was have a story that related to something that was deeply personal to me.
Yeah.
But I know I'm not alone in it either, and just being open about that.
Well, and that's the thing with like your story and your speech could go to many different audiences because there's like, yeah, it could go to a fundraiser. It could go to like you talked about those kids in Utah that like the lady wanted you to come speak at or whatever.
Oh yeah.
Like it could be motivational to like keep pushing through. It could be somebody that I don't know, who knows,
Yeah.
but like it could definitely go a lot of different ways.
Yeah, I feel like it was relatable on a lot of different avenues aside from just fundraising, right? Like, I mean, that was a story of how I started, but that wasn't like the meat of bones. Like the meat, like, I mean, the cool part is yeah, we're helping these families, but like the point isn't that.
Yeah.
Like, it's a pretty cool mission, but discovering the mission and figuring that out and how we got there and how it all happened is the story.
Yeah.
Like, that's the point that matters. Like, hey, we did these things. Yeah, just not ignoring your feeling.
You got to catch the people's attention to get to the point and get to drive it home.
Yeah.
You can't just be like, I'm Devin. I have the $1 dream.
Goodbye.
I need your money.
Yeah. I didn't even talk about the $1 dream. I think I mentioned it at one point at the very end, but
Yeah.
I don't know. I guess I just didn't care. It's like it wasn't about that. At that moment for me, it wasn't about the $1 dream.
Sure.
It was about trying to change these families' Christmases, which is cool. Yeah. I'm excited to see how that all plays out. Who knows? I have no idea what this next year has in store for me. I know I'm not done. I know I'm not like done doing fundraisers, but I don't know how many I want to do.
Yeah. I don't know. I think it just takes a toll.
It does. It sucks that everything revolves around money.
Here we go again.
Yeah. I mean, that's a problem now. That's why I told Jordan, I'm like, all right, now I have all this money. I got to go distribute out. I'm like, I don't even want to do that. It's not even fun. Which is crazy because in my mind, I'm like, oh, it's so cool to give people money. No, it actually isn't that freaking cool. Like, the cool part is putting the work in and watching it come together for someone. Like, that is cool to me. When people are reaching out, like, dude, the Maple Mills Goods or whatever, Maple Mill Goods, the Rice Krispie people, right?
Yeah.
Reached out to me like, dude, we're gone. We're in Boise at a wedding. All of our Rice Krispies are sold out. I'm so sorry that we're not there to make more. I'm like, dude, hell yeah. Like, I would like to assume that we played a piece of that.
Yeah.
Or he wouldn't have reached out to me. Like, that is cool.
Yeah. I was thinking about this today again with burnout and with like what's next. I think it's so hard to think about what's next with your stuff. Like, because I do think about it and it's like, man, to ask again. And like, we've talked about this and to keep asking, it's like, how the heck do you do it? Like not like, I know how you keep doing it, but it's like, how do you do it and people continue?
Respond. Yeah. They don't. I mean, that's, I was telling Tyler Rickenbach this because he asked the same thing, like, dude, all right, what's next? I'm like, yeah, I'm wondering the same, I mean, there is a next, but what is the move? Who knows? Talked about the fundraising aspect. I'm like, Tyler, if you were to run this fundraiser, it would do better because you haven't asked people all year. I have. And I do believe people are burnt. Like, people are burnt out for me continually asking. And I have a core group of people that will always support, which is sick. And that's how we raised $20,000. And it was hard because the only hard part of this for me is like my idea still hasn't come to complete fruition of like lots of small acts create big impact.
Yeah.
Because almost everybody that donated, I had just under 200 people. I had 194 people donate, but there was a lot of $1,000 donations, which made a total difference, but it sucks because it didn't feel like the small ones made that big of a difference. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Which is not my mission. Like, I wanted it to be so little that it didn't affect anyone.
Okay. I got an idea.
Okay.
And again, my ideas are always like, I think it might work, but you can do it if you want. You don't have to. But this goes back to your kindness project.
Yeah.
And my kindness goal for 2026. What if you do a video and this like kind of, it has nothing to do, it's really just content play. It has nothing to do with like getting money, with getting anything. But there's ways I'm sure to do it, right? To where you can get like not money, but a shout out or whatever. So where people can come follow and do it, but maybe not. But put a video out there to where you challenge people and do it like once a month or I don't know, whatever. Just be like, hey, here's 2026. I want to make social media a better place. Here's what I'm gonna do to make this a better place. And then be like, I want you to also help me out doing this. Now, what I want you to do, and this can come from any way, shape, or form. I want you to send a text, call somebody, write them a letter, email, whatever. And I want you to tell them something good. Try to do it daily, try to do it whatever, but like just do it. And then report to me how it went and see what comes. Like give people the challenge and then let them follow through with it.
Yeah.
And I wonder how that will do for your following and your traction with what you got.
I wonder. I have no idea. That's funny because I've had very similar thoughts of like, I mean, one of my videos I did end it with a challenge, but I didn't say report back kind of thing. I thought
they don't
maybe
have to
somebody
report
would.
back, but yeah.
It would be nice though because it keeps them accountable.
But I think like it takes it kind of combines both of our kindness things. And so it doesn't only put it onto you. You know what I mean? Like you can still write your notes.
Yeah.
But like you get other people to do stuff.
Yeah. I mean, that's the whole goal, right? Because I feel like I understand something deeper that I can share and hopefully get people to understand too, right? Of like getting outside of yourself feels good. It feels good to look out for each other. It feels good to say nice things to people. Like it feels good to help. And if I could give someone a challenge or an opportunity to do that, that's sweet.
Dude, here's something actually. I delivered our present to somebody the other day. I'm not going to say names, but so this is what I sent. After I left their house, I was just thinking like, I don't know. One of the things too that I'm trying to do is like follow promptings more. And it could be anything, but
I think that's important, dude.
yeah.
I mean, that's like my whole speech, right? It's like listening to the little things that you think aren't really anything. Some of those I do feel like are almost a test too. If you won't listen to these little things, how do I know you're going to listen to the big ones?
Yeah. That could be, well, I think a test, but also not to get churchy on it, but like the still small voice.
Yeah. Church it up.
The still small voice is only small and doesn't talk to you if you don't listen to it, right? Like if you get promptings and you don't take them or you don't go through with them or whatever, listen to them, then it's going to be harder the next time to hear it. And if you go through and you never follow the promptings, like I think ultimately you follow promptings, but like if you don't follow the little ones, then yeah, it's like I can't hear those. I can't. I only know when I shouldn't. I don't know. Step in front of this train. I don't know.
Yeah.
But so yeah, I sent this person this text message, and I just said, "Hey, I just wanted to text you and tell you that we love you guys, that you are awesome, and we are super glad you're working through everything, and we know it's not easy." And I just said, "Please let us know that if we can do anything for you and your family." And I said, "Just have a Merry Christmas." And I got a super long text back.
Yeah.
And it was like, but it was, and I'm not going to read it because it has stuff in it, but it's like, yeah, just like following those promptings. And then you and I got a text from a person that was like, yeah, dude, like, thank you for saying stuff, for being there, for whatever. Like people just flat out left our life.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, it wasn't hard to stay in it.
No.
And it wasn't hard to say, hey, dude, we got your back.
Yeah.
We love you. Like, how freaking hard is it? It's not.
No. It's just seeing people.
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like you understand something different too. That like humans are humans, right? Like everyone's a human. Everyone's going to have good things. Everyone's going to have bad things. Some are more public than others. And it's like, yeah, just because I know who you're talking about. But
dude, I took this is something that, and there's people that I know that I have friends on Facebook that could totally, and actually I've had people reach out to me now on Facebook and find me, kind of creepy. But when I was a cop, my first police job was at Canyon County in the jail. And I saw how some cops acted, and I was like, you guys are sons of bitches. Like, you got this freaking ego. And so I made kind of like an oath to myself. And I was like, everybody in these jail cells, even if I don't like them or like what their crime was, are people and they're humans. They made a mistake. Some made multiple mistakes. Some keep making mistakes. But you know what? They're human. And who am I to judge? So treat them like a human. And then you get the respect back. And then part of why I did this was like, if shit hits the fan, I want to be the cop that the people in the would like protect me in a way where I didn't have to get into the shit. Like they would get into it and then I would be out of it.
Yeah, you'd
You
be
know what I
able to
mean?
ask them like, "Hey, maybe don't do this."
Yeah.
Or
Or like
yeah,
a
you
big
know you're
fight
not going to
breaks
get
out, they'd be
stabbed.
like, yeah, they'd like push me out
Mm.
and then like they'd take care of their stuff. And like I had people tell me like, yeah, dude, I wasn't doing favors, show people freaking
Respect.
human respect.
Yeah.
And they told me flat out, like, yeah, dude, shit pops off in here, like, it's not gonna affect you.
That's
You're like,
cool.
"Huh."
That's cool.
And then so yeah, I've had people on Facebook reach out and they're like, hey, I don't know if you remember me, but like, dude, I was in a bad time and like you were the cop and like you just treated me like a human, dude. And I totally appreciate it. Like there was guys there that didn't, whatever. And I'm like, all right, cool, man. Yeah. Like absolutely. I wouldn't treat you any other way.
Yeah.
You know, I'd beat the shit out of you if you popped off and you got in my way, but I'd still treat you like a
If you
human.
pulled anything on me, that's cool. I think just going to another level of that and like letting people, feel something other than just existing. Cause how many people think, I don't know, they're just here, like, monotonously going through life.
Yeah, dude, I think that's why suicide's so rampant. Like that's a whole nother thing.
Yeah.
Like we could be here all night talking about
Yeah.
topics.
That's true. I think there's a lot to be said of, I mean, I know I have all these ideas and they're all mumble jumbled, probably because I don't know how to explain it into one mission. Right. But like one thing is to help people feel sane, right? Changing social media, putting good out in the world, blah, blah, blah. But like some of it and a lot of it is to wake people up.
Mhm.
Wake up, like let's be part of something that's different, that's good, that's community, that's together, that's loving. Stop doom scrolling for satisfaction because you're never going to be satisfied.
Yeah.
Right. I can't tell you how many times I've gotten on my phone and I'll start going through these reels. I'm like, when was the last time I spent 5 minutes on here and felt good? Probably never. I can't tell you because I think I no longer got the hits that I was looking for. So I had to spend more and more and more time. You're looking for this constant entertainment. And back to this podcast, how we started the first. It said, Chris Williams has said something about, like, we're all looking for answers to stuff, right? And the answers are in the silence we're avoiding. And everyone's avoiding it. Everyone on fucking planet Earth is avoiding it.
Oh, for sure. The book that I'm reading right now, actually, the chapter that I read today talked about this.
Really?
Is that we are so uncomfortable being inside our own heads that we can't get out or that we won't spend the time there.
Yeah.
So like our phones, the TV, a computer, like music, like any of that kind of stuff, we are so uncomfortable that we have to have something like that going at all times. And I'm guilty of it.
I'm too.
Like if I'm working, like I want music on. If I'm if I'm driving, I got music or a podcast. If I'm if I'm running and that's very rarely, but like music or a podcast, right? And then, but it talked about like, if you want to do hard shit, go do a workout with no music. And then you can really realize what's difficult and what's not.
Yeah.
And it talks about like professional athletes will run long distances in silence because they actually like become in tune with their body and they know like, okay, I'm like, my arms are flailing or my stride is this, or I'm not keeping the same pace or, it's like all these things are different and you can hear your footsteps hitting the ground and it's like, oh, I'm getting off. That's not the same rhythm I was in. slowing down or I'm going too fast or I'm this or that. And it's the same thing with our body or with whatever's going on around us. We don't take the time. It's like, and I'm totally guilty of this. Like I notice this actually when I'm in the grocery line. I'll step up to the grocery line and like stop. Like say I'm the second in line. I stop. The first thing that happens is my phone comes out and I start looking at crap and I'm like, I can't even freaking sit here for 10 seconds and watch and observe and wait and look and see what's going on around me or like talk to somebody right next to me. I don't know. Instead, like I immediately, boom, go phone to my face and I'm looking at something.
Mm.
And I was like, what am I doing?
I'm up. I do the same. And I'll ask myself that too. Like, can I not even just exist and be okay? Because I mean, I feel like that even with my kids, right? Like constant entertainment, constant.
Yeah.
You know, they've got TVs, iPads, friends, games, everything. And when they're bored, I hear about it.
Right.
I'm like, no, I'm not going to entertain you. It's not my job to entertain you, you know? But I think they're just so used to constantly being entertained that that's the expectation now. And man, what's going to happen when the iPad babies get to our, because I didn't have this when I was a kid, right? Like I kind of did with video games, but I mean, those are just boring to some extent.
This is way off topic, but so when we were talking about my sister and then my people's podcast that I've let use the studio, right?
Yeah.
So maybe they'll listen to this. I don't really care, but they're young teenagers who are trying to do a podcast, which I'm like, great, come in, use this, do what you want to do. But their podcast was about how procrastination is like the way of life and about how like you don't need to work at stuff. Like you don't need to grind on it and you just need to like hit it hard at the end. And then one of the, and it's so stupid. I don't even know the full example. I can't even remember it because I shut down that part of it. But it was like, one of it was like, I didn't do this whole school for 1 month. Like I didn't like go to class type of a thing. And then I got onto the online portion of it and I like was grinding for like, and this is like their words, like I'm grinding for like 17 assignments and a 3-page paper. And I got like a C in the class. So why do I need to go through the whole class if I can just do that? And I was like, this generation,
Yeah,
is
you're like,
something. It's gonna be tough.
Yeah, there's gonna be things we're fighting because of our attention spans.
Oh, for sure.
And I think social media is the blame. If I had a blamer, I mean, literally the algorithm is training our brains to do that.
Well, yeah, it's the short videos. Like you and I have talked about this, the first 3 seconds of videos or whatever it is that just catch your attention, get you going.
Which is wild to me. Like, man, we've created it. We created that. I mean, I fall into it too, probably unconsciously, I guess, or consciously unconscious, whatever the hell I am, but like subconsciously just fall into it. But I do wonder that because I'm like, man, I look at my retention lines on my videos just to see, you know, I compare every 3 seconds, 6 seconds. Those are your big markers or your 3 and 6 seconds. How many people fell off between those, the first 3 seconds and then 3 to 6. And man, on my videos that matter, retention is typically below 20% at 6 seconds. I'm like, holy shit, be better. Like in my mind, I'm like, what are we doing? How do I not just be annoying in the first 6 seconds and get this message across of like, hey, we're trying to help some people, you know? I don't know.
But that's the problem though, is that the people that are watching that crap are not saying yours is crap, but like all the reels that are going down and they see yours and it's like, oh, I'm not interested in that.
Yeah.
I got to give money or I got to give attention to this. I'm out. And then they scroll up, you know, or whatever. And it's like, geez. But yeah, the same people on the podcast deal, when they were talking to me about this, they're like, how long is your podcast? And I was like, I don't know, dude. I don't do this for anybody. Like this podcast right now should probably be 2 to 3. Like we've gone around in circles and other ways. Like we could probably make 2 to 3 podcasts out of this, but I'm
Probably.
not going to. I don't care.
Yeah.
Like this is, and I told them I was like anywhere from hour to 3+ hours, and they're like, "Oh my gosh, seriously?" I said, "Yeah." They're like, "Our generation won't listen to that." And I'm like, "I know you're right. They
Yeah.
won't listen to this." And so they're like, "Yeah, we want to make our podcast like anywhere from 10 to 15 minutes per episode." And it's like, dude, you guys, I can't even poop in 10 to 15
I
minutes.
know.
Dude.
Yeah.
What the hell am I gonna do? What am I gonna get out of people in 10 to 15 minutes?
Nothing.
Like it's so surface level, everything.
It is. And that's even hard about like even creating a meaningful reel. I have to create it in under 3 minutes if I want it to reach new people. Like, dude, this is someone's life is more than 3 minutes, you know? And I don't know, I guess it's made my job easier in one aspect because I only have 3 minutes to figure out. But it's made it harder because I'm like, oh my gosh, I have to try to hook these people's attention to even let them know that we're trying to.
These kids have to watch porn and like fast forward or
Probably, dude. Let's get to the good part.
Yep.
Yep.
Attention's gone.
Gone. Dude, I don't know, man. And that's like, I've been thinking about personal brand. I know here's another topic, personal brand,
Yeah.
right? You can
Why did
build.
porn and personal brand come up in the same.
I'm not sure.
All right, cool.
P's, the P word.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
I think I was thinking about like attention span and like all this stuff of like long form, short form content, all this stuff. Man, the cool thing is like what I'm doing, I have been like gaining a little bit of like people that will just support everything, right? Like people see it and they're like, I'm going to watch this whole thing. I'm going to, which is cool, which is a personal branding thing because it's, oh, this person knows what to expect, gets the idea. But there's got to be a platform, and it's maybe YouTube, where you can keep people's attention longer than 3 seconds.
100%. I think YouTube is where people go. Well, actually, I listened to a podcast or watched a video on this, but like YouTube is where people go to either turn on a podcast, let it play in the background, and it could be 3 hours. Like this is where if we put this video onto YouTube, somebody could listen to this for 3 hours in their office, and it's playing in the background, and that's where they'll listen to it. You have shorts on YouTube, and then like people have come to YouTube to watch more like 10, 12, 20-minute long videos now, and that's where they get their, I guess, quote unquote long form content, 10 to 20 minutes, right? But like Instagram is just like the quick scroll from what I understand.
Yeah.
Because I can't search a damn thing on Instagram. If I see something cool one day and I'm like, Jen, you should check this thing out.
Can't find it.
Good luck.
Yep.
Unless there was like, oh, that was by this person, then I can look up their account. But like, that's it.
Yeah.
And so I think that that's where YouTube comes into play, is that like the longer form, because people will actually go to their couch, sit down and watch the TV or iPad, sometimes phone. Whereas like if you're on Instagram or Facebook and Reels and that, you're likely on your phone because those platforms suck on a computer.
Yeah.
And so they're totally optimized for a phone. And then it's just quick hits. Actually, I heard something.
No, you go ahead.
I heard something about dopamine today. So dopamine, everybody talks about dopamine hits, right? And you get little dopamine hits when you watch videos, and that's what gives you like the pleasure. But, and I'm totally going to butcher this. I wish I knew where I heard this from, but it was in the book. What is this? I want to make sure I get this name right. The book, The Mountain Is You. I'm listening to that one. So it talks about that actually the dopamine, the energy you get is not the actual dopamine. It's what comes after the dopamine. And like the hits that we're getting off of our phones only last for like half a second.
Bing.
So that's why we got to hit it again. Yeah.
So wild to me. I mean, it makes sense because I've been listening to enough stuff to know that, I mean, our phones are a constant dopamine hit, but we stay on it for so long because it's just like anything else. You just want more and more and more of the satisfaction, which just then it takes longer and longer and longer. And I mean, I'm guilty of it, but like I'm gonna throw every TikTok person on planet Earth under the bus, knowing that like, what is it about TikTok that you spend hours on it? You know, like people spend hours on TikTok. Doing what? Like Jordan, my wife, she will have TikTok going on as she's doing her makeup. Like, what are you doing?
That's the whole thing about being in your head.
Yeah.
People are uncomfortable being in their head and in silence.
Yeah.
They have to have that. So the book that I'm reading is called Do Hard Things. And it's pretty good. Like there's a lot of different stories and stuff. So I like it. But the one that it talks about is being in your head right now. They did an experiment. This is freaking crazy. So they said, like, if you can sit in the silence for like this amount of time, your time will be up quicker or whatever. And I don't remember how long it was. Or if you want, you can hit this button and it will give you a quick shock. But if you do that, it's going to extend your time by how much ever time, right? And it said like it wasn't a comfortable shock. It was like a quick, like sounded to me like a shock collar from a dog. Yeah.
Yeah.
And the results are pretty astonishing. Like how many people actually would have preferred that not preferred, they actually did it. They shocked themselves multiple times during this event so they could have this stimulus to like jolt their brain basically. And that's what they equated when they asked the people like, well, I got bored, or like I wanted to know what this was like. Why'd you do it again? I just didn't know what else to think or whatever, it's like,
Dang.
seriously. And there was one dude that did it like once every 4 seconds.
Whoa.
Yeah. Like if that tells you about our freaking attention span,
Yeah.
it's pretty bad.
Man, some wild stuff. Speaking even about phones, you just got to listen to that Chris Williamson podcast. I love his podcast,
I do
dude.
too. Who is it that he's with?
Steven, I don't know if it's Bartlett or Bartlett. They're both like British or United Kingdom, whatever. They're both on the top 10 podcasts too. We're headed there. What are our analytics, dude? I don't even see them.
They're not the greatest. They're like top 10,000.
Sweet.
Maybe.
The funny thing is, someone actually hit me up when I was buying my Christmas gun right here.
Yeah?
Some guy hit me up behind the counter and like, you're Devin Hess. It's like, yeah. It's like, I follow you. Think it's cool what you do, blah, blah, blah. And this guy also behind the counter is like, oh, what does he do? This guy told him everything we were doing. And he's like, you should listen to his podcast. I was like, well, that's cool.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So people listen. I got to eat some mangoes here.
Heck yeah.
I mean, that's the second person in the wild that I don't know who they are that has told me they listen.
Huh. That's pretty cool.
In the wild.
But I actually get emails from people.
Yeah.
Now, I don't know if people actually listen, but they're like, we want to be a guest. We'd be this and that. We're going to have some. I've got them, I think, well, I don't really have them scheduled, tentatively scheduled for like the weeks. So I got to definitely get some people. I'll figure that out.
I got to go back to what I was talking about.
Yeah.
The phones. And Chris Williamson, Steven asked Chris, like, what were some of the biggest changes you've made that have made the most impact for you? And he's like, some people can and can't do this, but he said the biggest one is no phones in the bedroom. Mm-hmm. He said, do not wake up or go to sleep with your phone. He's like, get an alarm clock. It will change your life. He's like, that is the single biggest thing I've ever done that changed my life. And I get it, man.
I can see that.
I saw another one yesterday where a girl talked about one of the biggest changes she had made. And like, this was just in passing, but it was similar. That's like, we don't get into our bed with our phones unless we've had sex. It's like, because you lose intimacy.
Yep.
Like that's the time you have to spend with your partner, you and them. She's like, yeah, we're not on our phones unless we've done it. And there's an agreement they made. I'm like, all right, mother effer, I'm making that one.
You're like, TikTok's locked.
I'm following this person.
Right. Then you get on to Joe's phone. You're
Send,
like,
send.
Yep.
Yeah.
Watch it. Yep. Okay. Watch this one. Yep. All right. She's like, why am I getting all these?
I was like, that's kind of cool. Jordan would never go for that. Maybe. I don't know. I'm going to ask.
I think, yeah. I wonder if people, or I wonder if like, if it would actually, if you expressed the concern or the, I don't even know what it would be called. Like, if you just talked about it, I guess, like, would it be something? Because I'm the same way. Like, Jennifer reads her freaking book on her phone like every night. I'm like, dude, stop. For one, like they say that it's really bad for you to have your phone and like look at it in the blue light. And then like that girl, the neuroscientist, she talks about how her, like your brain, you're getting these little dopamine hits,
Yeah.
and then it like it's depleting them. Make it, I wonder if I'm getting this right. I think it depletes them, and when you sleep, or no, you get them right, so it stores them. When you sleep, it wipes them out, but it doesn't fully wipe them out because basically, like you've had so many right before sleep, and it makes you sleep worse. And then when you wake up, you actually have like leftovers that your body just doesn't really do anything with it. Like it's I don't know how it all works exactly, but she talks about it like basically by looking at your phone and doing things on your phone right before bed is like horrible for
Mhm.
your sleep and for your mood and everything like that.
Yeah.
And like I don't know, maybe it is. I don't know. I'm sure it is, but I can't say whether or not like yeah, I felt it for sure, but
Yeah.
you know, I'm always telling Jen, I'm like, stop reading. Like, freaking turn the light on and read a regular book if you want. And she's like, well, that won't make you like you can sleep like that. I'm like, yeah, sure, why not? I can sleep through a lot of stuff.
We got these. I started reading an actual book in my bed for the same reason of like just trying not to be on my phone right before I go to sleep. We just got these little lamps that are like battery charged, which is sick. Just charge with my phone charger. But like, dude, they're not that bright, but they're bright enough to read the book. That's what you
Yeah.
need. Just beep. Yeah, I think I'm gonna try something like that. Uh, a few of the other ones he talked about, which were all cool because they're all so doable, right? Just don't go to sleep with your phone.
Yeah.
And he's like, the other cool thing is when you wake up, you also get the silence that you are typically avoiding because everybody gets first thing they do, and I'm guilty of this, is I'm tired and I get on my phone because I'm like, oh, don't want to get up yet, but I know I have to be up. So I'll scroll.
Yeah.
Or man, emails, people that are super busy immediately start their workday.
That was my first thing when I had my concrete business was freaking emails.
Yeah.
Dude, I will tell you right now that I probably like I couldn't tell you how much better I feel, but like my anxiety has gone down
That's nice.
tremendous amounts because I would open my phone and I would Jen even made a comment about this. She's like, "You're brushing your teeth, looking at your phone, doing work." And I'm like, "Yeah, you're right." And I like every day, I'd be freaking brushing my teeth and looking at my phone, and I'd be like, "Oh, that's an email I got to respond to. I got to whatever." And I'm like, "What am I doing?
Yeah.
I haven't even put pants on yet, and I'm working. This is dumb."
And I mean, it's the lives we created for ourselves. It's what's wild. And I'm like, man, all for more.
Mhm.
Again, all for more. And for like the more of what, like put my house. I mean, I think about this all the time, right? Put my exact life somewhere else. And this is someone's dream come true.
Oh, for sure.
Like, this is what they want. This is more than what they could even fathom, which is wild to me because, like, in America, I'm on the low end of the totem pole here in my mind.
I think in your mind.
But I mean,
When I get this property closed, I'll bring you along.
okay,
Trust me.
here you go.
Like they live in a decent house, but they're not the low ones either. But like they are freaking dirty people, man.
Yeah, I'm saying like people that are like trying and like have big dreams and like all this stuff. Like when it comes to, and I know I'm comparing myself to obviously some big people, but yeah, I'm very low when it comes to that. I mean,
Sure.
it is what it is. But to someone else, yeah, to the people you're talking about, I don't know. Maybe I'm my own worst enemy at the same time. Like,
Oh, for sure. I think if there's one thing that I think we can learn is that basically we are our biggest critic, and we also are like our biggest doubters. But at the same time, we're our biggest cheerleaders.
Yeah.
So put all of that together.
I don't
Figure
know,
out how
man.
the hell to make that freaking circus go
It's so
around.
crazy because I think about like my tattoo. I was thinking about doubt today again. Like, what is doubt? You know, like why, why is it always there? I remember asking Stu that, you know, like you doubt. He didn't really step into it. And I don't even know if I asked the question right, but I mean, I literally have a tattoo on my back that says Memento Mori, like living each day in my mind. Like this is a living each day. Like it could be your last, like a mortality thing. But then above it, it's, you know, like a sword going through a skull. And it's, I mean, some people be like, oh, fighting your demons. But to me, it's more like a killing your doubt. Like live each day like it's your last, killing the doubt of whatever you're afraid of to do. I mean, because if you died tomorrow, you would have wish you wish you would have done it.
Yeah.
You know? I don't know
I
either.
don't know how to answer it. I don't know
Yeah.
if you can. I don't know if there's like so hard because doubt, again, go all the way back to the beginning of the podcast and like emotion. It's an emotion that we feel. And I think that we see, I look at people, there's a couple people that I know who I have a feeling started with like next to nothing in business. And they are now, they're Hispanic, and they own two of the largest concrete companies in this area that I know of, and they're killing it. And I think because they probably started from nothing. One of them, I think, started in Mexico and came over here or whatever, or close or what, you know. And my brother asked him one time, like, how are you guys, like, how do you do this? And he's like, dude, this is easy. And he's like, what do you mean easy? He's like, you just, in America, they'll give you money. The banks just give you money. And if you want it, you just go ask for it and you get it and you build it and you do it and it's easy. And it's like, it is easy. Shit,
What the
this
heck?
guy's got it figured out. But it's like, they don't know. They don't doubt. They don't doubt that they're going to make it or not or whatever. Like, it's so crazy to me. And they're
Yeah.
both the same way.
Really?
Yeah, both of them Hispanic crews, just killing it. And both of them are just like, whatever.
Do you think it's because of like, again, they came from nothing, so anything's better than what they had?
I think so.
And like maybe it's not an expectation, right? They probably don't. And I think doubt for me comes from a giant goal and the expectation of like, I'm going to get it. And then when my little steps haven't still added up to my giant goal, then I doubt that, oh, what's one more video? You know, like
Oh,
in my mind, like, I don't know. Like, is this really going to work? You know, but it has. It already has proven that. Like, I went back to my analytics. I mean, back to when I had 1,000 followers, and I remember I was pumped if I got 1,000 views. And now I'm guaranteed to get at least 5,000 views, like on the low end. And then, I mean, I've obviously gotten better at making content by doing all these little things too. Like, why am I thinking I wouldn't just continually get better? But in my mind, I'm like, you know,
Yeah.
like, what am I like? Goes back to the Hormozy and the pots, right? Make 1,000 pots.
Mm-hmm.
By your 1,000th pot, it's going to be pretty damn good.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm like, it's these steps, but I'm skipping the steps again. My daily small little steps that I talk about this stuff. But here I am. I'm still human like everybody else. I get the idea. I get the gist. And I've in my own proof of that. Yet I still have a hard time seeing it. Not all the time, but I still have my moments of like, what am I doing? I have a tattooed on my back. I don't know, man. It's wild. I don't know. I think talking about 2026 and all that stuff, but I really am going to try to just enjoy the ride, like enjoy it more. Allow myself to enjoy it by releasing, like, not even the outcomes. I think I had to experience that a little bit. I think I told you about that, but like releasing any expectations other than knowing it's the steps that get me to where I want to go too. Like whether that's where I think I'm going or not, I know when I get there, which isn't the point, but if I can enjoy these steps, and each step I will be there. If that makes sense.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I think like not to beat a dead horse, but like I think that enjoying the journey along the way is the journey.
Yeah.
I think we as maybe it's Americans, I don't know, but let's just say humans get this idea in our head that as we have to have this end result now. We can't enjoy the alphabet going A to Z. We have to have A, we have to have Z, and we have to get there now. And it's like, why? Like Z's our goal.
Yeah.
Why can't we enjoy this whole freaking alphabet and through all the way through there? Why do we have to have just these two? Or why do we have to get there so fast?
Yeah.
Like, I just think about it like, well, in a lot of different ways, but like hunting for me, when I talk about hunting and people are like, "Oh, are you successful?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'm successful. I freaking killed it. I didn't kill an animal, but I had such a good season."
Yeah.
And they're like, "What are you talking about?" I'm like, "Dude, it was so fun. Like I spent, 20 plus days out there. It was great. Like I loved it. It was awesome." And they're
Yeah.
like, "Well, that's about the most skewed opinion ever. Like, most people think that." And I'm like, "Yeah, but dude, you didn't see what I saw. You don't experience what I experienced. You don't have the silence that I have. Like you don't get those things, right? That's the journey." And it's the same thing with with everything. But it's hard to enjoy because you feel like you have these doubts and you have these feelings of like denial or regret or who knows what it is
Yeah.
all along those ways. And so those kind of hinder it. But if you like the book The Gap in the Gain, I don't know if you ever read that, but like
You gave it to me.
or The Dip, that's another one. And they
Okay.
talk about like, so the dip, when you're in the dip, you're in the bottom, and those are like the doubts and the whatever, and you're like, oh, this sucks. And then you're at the top, and that's when it's really good. And then you go back into a dip. But that's all part of the journey. Like if you're going up and down and up and down. So if you can learn to like get through the dip quick or as quick as you can and as like positive as you can, and you get up to the top, then it makes you realize like this is all part of the journey and this is good.
Yeah.
Like this is it. I'm meant to be on this.
Mm-hmm. I think I've definitely like accepted that more this year than ever before. I don't know why it's taken me so long, but I mean, from my neck essentially is where this all started for me, and like realizing that again, it's okay to be where I'm at because it's developing who I am, and without that, which was crazy, it was scary, but without that, I'm not this, and I'm happy with who I am. Like I truly am. Am I perfect? Absolutely not. Right. There's even I have another little goal where I'm like, I'm going to try to focus on seeing the good in everything. Everything.
It's a good one. That's tough.
It is because there's things that I see that are not good, And one of the big ones I want to start seeing the good in, and I don't know if you experience this yourself, but is my past. I'll look back at my past and I just remember all the things I didn't like about it.
See, I'm different. I'm just built different. Like when we did the known group,
Mhm.
this was the whole thing is like everybody was like this, and it was like not that it was negative, like because it brought out what it was supposed to bring out of people.
Yeah.
But like the letter to little me, so many people were like, it was just like bad, 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 bad. And I was like, hey, dude, your life's going to be crazy. You're going to make it that way. Just be sure to watch out for this stuff. But damn, you live a freaking fun life. Like, you know what I mean? It was
Yeah.
like, it was, I don't know, like it, but that's my outlook on it.
And that's one of those things, I don't know where that comes from for me. I really don't, because I can't ever remember a time in my life, even when I broke my neck and lost everything, like was trying to tell my wife to leave me, right? I mean, that was dark. That was hard. But I don't remember ever being in a place where I'm like still like not happy to be alive.
Yeah.
I've always been and tried to make the best of everything. And when things aren't right, I do what I can to make it right. Like I guess to improve. That's something even Jordan brought up to me when I was making my speech. She said the same thing. She's like, I want you to let people know that it wasn't like we were just sulking around. I'm like, I mean, you're right. We weren't. Yeah. The situation isn't ideal, you know, in your mind, it's not. But it is ideal to become the person I am now.
Yeah.
Which is who I want to be, you know, like, and I've worked hard to be this person. But it's not something you can't measure who I am based off of anything you see, right? It takes conversation, it takes connection, it takes long form content.
I mean, you could go on all night about this and about how and what the hell do you even call them? Yep.
Yep.
Like basically when people say something like the meaning, an analogy. There you go.
Yes. Yeah.
Like analogies for all of this, right? But it's like seeing the forest through the trees. You can't see when you're at this peak and you want to get to this peak. You can't, when you're down in the trees, you can't see it, right? And it's the same thing that you go through until you get up onto the peak and you're like, so beautiful up here. But when you're down in this shit, it's not very beautiful. But that's where a lot of good stuff happens. And it's like, it's tough.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
I don't know either. Yeah. I don't know. But I think about that, my past, like, how do I reframe that? How do I see because I do see the good, like I do. But I will think about things of my past and be like, oh my gosh, I'm so glad I'm not there anymore.
But I don't think that that's a negative thing. I think that could be, I understand what you're saying, like that you can see it as a negative, but like you're glad you're not there. But instead, I guess, like in the same sentence or in the same context, you have to say, like, man, I'm glad I'm not there, but it made me who I am now.
Yeah.
So I'm glad I lived that.
Yeah.
Like, and I think that's where, like, the letter to little me was, you know, it's like, hey, dude, you're going to do stupid stuff.
Yeah.
But it's going to make you who you are today, which at that time is pretty damn good. Or at this time or whatever, like, you know, but when you're in it, it's going to be rough or it's going to be whatever, but it's going to make you who you are. So those experiences and those lessons are pretty awesome. Just get through them.
This brings up another memory now of a Chris Williamson podcast. Might have been the same one.
We should have him on.
Yeah, let's get him on here.
Yeah.
Dude, I love that guy. Anyways, I've had thoughts of that. I'm like, I should, never mind. It's going to sound stupid. No, you know how like some people will like stitch stuff? Like I should take some of my favorite clips of what he says and do my own thoughts on it.
Sure.
Like, why not? I think, and the reason I think that is because I'm like, man, I wish he would go deeper. Because they do say a lot of really cool things, and we're probably the same way, right? We probably say some cool things, and we should probably go deeper into them. But yeah, he says some one-liners. I'm like, oh my gosh, that resonates with me. Why? Let's figure it out, you know? Like, anyways, forgot what he said. He said, and I'm just thinking this now, this is like just barely coming to me. He's like, people will look back at their past and like, they'll blame their parents for things, right? And I don't have a blame, right? There are things that I think are just whatever, but I've never like blamed my parents for, well, you did this to me. But he's like, all that good that you are now, well, you better give them the credit too. Because without that, you aren't this. He's like, so you can't just be a victim to everything bad and also not give them credit for everything good.
I like that.
And I was like, that's like now like sinking in for me. And not based on my parents, but I've based a lot of things on, you know, like being adopted and not having this sense of belonging in my family growing up, which was hard. But I've always said, like, I don't know, it's made me who I am, right? And it has, right? Well, whether I want to blame my bad feelings or whatever on that, like, well, I also better blame my good ones on it. Like, it all gets the credit, you know? I don't know.
Heck yeah. I agree with that. Big time. That's I was talking to my sister about that tonight.
Really?
In a way. Like, because we talked about Christmas and about, like, I don't want to keep rambling on, but this one, like, we talked about going on a trip during Christmas. And when I was a kid, I think I was 10, my brother got back off of his mission and he went to Puerto Rico. And so my parents were like, we're going to go to Puerto Rico the year that he gets back off of his mission, and we're going to go visit. And like he can, it's kind of, you know, I'm sure a lot of families do that, right? And so we did, and my brother and my sister. So my sister's the oldest, and then it went my brother who was on the mission, and then my other brother. So what would that be like? The middle child and the oldest child said they hated the trip. And so they kind of equate it to like traveling at Christmas, right? But then I was like, dude, I freaking love that trip. It was so awesome. That was like the coolest Christmas ever. Anyways, and so I know that like there are things that are in my siblings. I hate the word trauma,
Yeah.
but they say, or people say their trauma, right, is like caused by the parent. And so that was what I thought about was like, well, is that really caused by them, for one? And then two, like what you said, like, okay, but they gave you a freaking trip. So that was pretty awesome, wasn't it? Now looking back, let's say what was that? It's hard. 28 years ago, right? So looking back 28 years, was it really a bad trip? Or were you just a spoiled little shit back then?
Yeah.
And that's what my sister, she's like, I was probably just a spoiled little turd, like coming out of college, mad that I was going on a trip where my brother went on his mission and we're just doing this for him or whatever. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
so many things. And she said, she was like, it was probably all mindset. And then you look back and it's like, as a parent, you can only do what you can do for your kids and you're trying to do what's best for them. So like you say, yeah, you got to give the credit to them, like for doing the good,
Yeah.
if you're going to give them the bad.
Yep.
And I think ultimately there's probably majority of the time, there's a lot more good credit than there is bad. We just hold on to the bad.
Yeah, it's easier to remember the bad.
Yeah.
Then your brain probably does that because it plays it all back. And like, don't do that because of this.
Yep.
It's protecting. Maybe, who knows? But yeah, I think being able to see and realize that, like, yeah, don't blame all your bad feelings and blah, blah on your parents if you're not going to blame your good ones on them either.
There you go. I like it. We're ending on that. That's a good ending point.
Love you. Bye.
Love you. Bye. If this episode gave you something real, don't just sit on it. Do something with it. Hit follow, drop a review, and share this with someone who needs a wake-up call today. The real rebuild grows because of you. Let's keep building.